I beg your pardon?
Oh, I was just talking to myself. I said,
Oh.
I said that on account of this here picture of the beast eating the Eiffel Tower. Well, in the movie, he never did eat it. He just stomped it down.
You know, you're right. I never noticed.
They put a lot of things on posters that are not in the movies. Like this one back here. See where the mud creature's oozing up the steps of the Egyptian embassy? That wasn't even in the picture.
Say, you're right. Oh, you certainly have a good memory.
Oh, it's not that exactly. I just seen this picture twice.
Oh, then you like monster movies, too.
I sure do. And I sure did enjoy the last one they had here. I Was a Teenage Insect. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Well, it was a real good one. You see, this scientist feller was tampering with things that are best left alone. And, well, it gets kind of complicated, and I don't guess you've got time to hear the whole thing.
Well, I am waiting for a bus, but it isn't due for another half an hour. We could go across the street and have a cup of coffee, and you could tell me all about it there.
I'd like that. Do you like sodas? They're my favorite.
Oh, I love cherry sodas. They're my favorite.
Cherry sodas? Mine, too. Well, isn't it a small world?
Oh, it sure is. I mean, well, it's so unusual to meet somebody who likes the same things you like. I'm Alice Borden.
I'm Gomer Pyle, and I'm pleased to know you.
How do you do?
Well, what this scientist feller done with his tampering was to put this teenage girl into a deep, deep sleep. And when she woke up, she was crawling up the sugar bowl. So this scientist feller falls in love with the insect that he's created. But he can't change her back. So guess what?
What?
He changes himself into an insect, and at the end of the picture, they go crawling off together. I just love pictures with a happy ending, don't you?
I certainly do.
Hey, Gome.
Hey, Duke.
Hello there.
This is my buddy Duke Slater. This is Miss Alice Borden.
How do you do?
Hello.
Won't you sit down and join us, Duke?
Huh? Oh, no, I'll move on. You two look like you want to be left alone.
Oh, Duke.
What?
It was just Duke clowning around. Would you like another soda?
Well, I think I... Oh, dear, I missed my bus.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's all my fault for rattling on so.
I don't mind, really. I just enjoy talking to you.
Well, since you do have to wait on the next bus, did you ever see the movie where the giant moth lit on Japan?
No, I didn't.
Well, that was another good one. You see, this scientist feller was tampering around with things that are best left alone, and one day he was experimenting. And so he was there in his lab.
Where you going, Gome?
Oh, into town.
You got a date?
Uh-huh, sort of. That young lady you met last night.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't had a chance to ask you about her. Who is she? Where'd you meet her anyway?
At the movies. We got to talking about monster movies. She likes them, too.
You picked her up in a monster movie?
Well, it wasn't like that, Duke. We just met.
Well, call her what you want. Hey, Casanova, way to go there, and good work.
You shouldn't talk like that, Duke. That poor girl's had a lot of grief.
Yeah?
That's right. She's lost her parents, and her brother are staying at this motel, and they're working their way to Oregon to start a new life.
Oh, well, she seems like a very nice girl.
She is, and we got a lot in common. We both like cherry sodas and popcorn and monster movies.
You know, I'd try it myself. Find something real cute like that at a monster movie. I'm afraid that's what I'd wind up with, a monster.
You're just cynical, Duke. Well, I'll see you.
Hey, Gomer, if she's got a sister, nah, forget it. She'd probably be a monster.
Cynical.
I certainly did enjoy myself tonight, Gomer.
Well, I'm sure glad, Miss Alice.
Hi, Lloyd.
Oh, hi, sis.
Gomer, this is my brother, Lloyd. Lloyd, this is Gomer Pyle.
Pleased to meet you, Lloyd.
Same here.
Gomer, it's so early. Why don't we sit in the swing and talk for a while?
If you'd like.
Well, I guess you two have things to talk about. I'll go on inside and read.
Don't let us run you off, Lloyd.
Oh, that's all right. The light's better inside.
Your brother Lloyd seems like a real nice fella.
Oh, I just knew you two would hit it off, just like you and I did. You know something, Gomer? You're awfully easy to talk to. I mean, most fellas, well, with them, it's hard to really say anything. It's just the same old talk that you talk to people that you really don't know how to talk to.
Well, Thanks.
I guess it's because we have so much in common.
That's right. We both like monster movies.
And cherry sodas.
Right.
Oh, Gomer, you must think I'm awfully silly.
Well, no. What makes you say a thing like that?
Well, because I enjoy talking to you so much. And this is just every day to you.
Why, it isn't either.
You're not just saying that?
Golly, no.
Oh. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could sit and talk like this every night? Forever and ever?
Well, that'd be nice.
Oh, Gomer, I accept!
You do?
Lloyd! Oh, Lloyd! Lloyd, guess what? Gomer just proposed to me.
When?
Just now, isn't it exciting?
Well, congratulations, brother-in-law.
You're gonna get what?
Married, I think.
You think? What is this, some kind of gag?
No, Sergeant, it's a surprise to me, too. I mean, that's my problem. She said yes before I realized I'd made a proposal.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just means that she was answering questions I didn't think I was asking.
Pyle, did you propose to the girl or not?
Well, I didn't mean to, but I guess she took it that way.
What did you say to her, for Pete's sake?
Well, I told her I liked to talk to her.
You told her you liked to talk to her, and she said, yes, I'll marry you?
I think it was the part about forever and ever that did it.
Well, how long have you known this girl?
Going on 3 days.
Uh-huh. One of them long engagements.
I mean, she's a real nice girl and all, Sergeant, but I just don't want to get married.
You don't?
Well, not now anyways, and not to a girl I've known only 3 days.
Okay, then it's simple. Just call her up and tell her you don't want to get married.
But I don't hardly see how I can do that, Sergeant. It seemed all kind of settled last night.
Look, Pyle, this girl tricked you into proposing. It's a racket, and you fell for it.
You mean she don't want to marry me?
Oh, she'll marry you, all right. She'll marry you for your paycheck.
My paycheck?
That's right. The wife of a serviceman gets a nice monthly allotment. Now, that's all she wants. Right after you're married, she'll disappear with a story about how some relative is sick and just send her the check in care of general delivery in that city.
She will?
Mm-hmm. And after about 6 months or a year, you're suddenly going to realize you don't really have a wife. So you stop them checks. But in the meantime, she's married maybe 4 other guys who are also sending her checks. Now, that's $360 a month, tax-free, huh?
Oh, I can't believe it.
Them girls hunt for suckers in uniform. There's a flock of them, like buzzards.
But she seems so nice.
Dump her.
But how, Sergeant?
Pyle, take it from me, the voice of experience. She'll dump you in a minute if she finds a better sucker to marry.
It's hard to believe that of Alice.
All right. I'll prove it to you and get you off the hook at the same time.
How?
Simple. I'll take her away from you.
What?
Pyle, I told you if a better sucker came along, she'd go for him. Well, that's me. Just give me the girl's address.
But, Sergeant...
Pyle, aside from the obvious difference in physical attraction, she'll be looking at the sleeve. Since a sergeant makes more than a private, she'll dump you and go for me. Just watch.
Sergeant, even if she did, and I don't think she will, then you'd have to marry her.
I'd have to dump her. She dumps you, I dump her.
I just can't believe it.
Why? Why can't you believe it?
I just can't believe that of Alice. A girl that likes monster movies and cherry sodas can't be all bad.
Yes?
Oh, Miss Borden?
Yes.
I'm Vince Carter, Gomer Pyle's sergeant.
Oh?
May I come in?
Well, yes, I suppose so. Is, anything wrong?
Well, Pyle, Gomer told me about the happy occasion. And since I'm his sergeant, I sort of feel responsible for him, almost like a father. So I thought I'd drop around and meet the blushing bride.
Oh.
Oh, say, this is for you. It's champagne. I know that Gomer, on his private salary, would never be able to afford a bottle of champagne, so it's my little treat. Now, on your wedding night, have one on me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Sergeant. Sergeant, would you like a cup of coffee?
I'd love one. And you can call me Vince.
Oh, Vince, I'm awfully glad I met you. You're so easy to talk to.
Sure. A lot easier than some you might know.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Well, if you don't know, there's no reason for me to tell you. It's like you said, you and me get along good together.
Well, you are easy to talk to, Vince. What's the matter, Vince?
You know, I feel kind of like a rat. I come here to check on a girl one of my men is going to marry, and something's beginning to happen, and I don't like it.
What, Vince? What?
Why don't you make me leave before we're both sorry?
Vince, please don't go.
But it just ain't fair, Alice. It just ain't. There's Pyle, a nice little private, waiting to marry you. And here am I, a sergeant, acing him out. It just ain't fair.
Vince, listen. Sometimes we just can't help these things.
We can't?
Of course not. If it's got to happen, it's got to happen. Why fight it?
Yeah. And don't they say all's fair in love and war?
Oh, they do, Vince, they do.
And don't they say why settle for beans when you can have steak?
Oh, Vince, I accept. Bye.
You must be Lloyd.
Guess what? Vince just proposed.
No! Who?
Oh, that's right, you two haven't met. This is my brother Lloyd, Lloyd Vince Carter.
Well, congratulations, brother-in-law. You sure are a fast worker.
Oh, isn't it exciting?
Who would have thought when I came in tonight that things would be winding up like this, huh? Oh, say. I hate to bring up a sour note, but Pyle. What do we do about Pyle?
Oh.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you write him a letter tonight and tell him? I'd rather it came from you.
I'll let him down as gently as possible.
Good. Well, I've got to be going. I've got plans to make and things to do.
See you, sir. Nice going, babe. That was a shrewd move.
Yeah, it's a pain. Boy, the things I do for you, Lloyd.
How about the things I do for you? Do you think I like letting other guys propose to my wife?
Oh, yeah, I bet it bothers you a lot.
Look, stop complaining. There's nothing more sure than a serviceman's allotment. It comes in like clockwork.
Well, maybe you're right, Lloyd. But sometimes I think we're too hung up on security.
Did I call it, Pyle, huh? Did I?
Well, it's hard to believe, Sergeant.
Yeah. Well, I had to do it that way to prove it to you, Pyle. It's too bad you had to learn.
It's terrible. Just terrible. What kind of people are those?
Leeches, Pyle. Not people, leeches.
Well, you sure knew what to do, Sergeant.
Naturally. Maybe next time you'll listen to me and learn from my experience.
I sure will. But how are you going to get out of Marinaris?
It's already done. The minute I got back on the base last night, I called her up and said, it's been a great engagement, Toots, but I've been thinking it over, and adios.
Golly.
Ah, when you know, Pyle, you know.
Colonel wants to see you, Sarge.
Right. So let this be a lesson to you. You're off the hook, I'm off the hook, and she's down the drain. And there's nothing she can do about it. Just chalk this up to experience, and a lucky one.
Right, Sergeant. And it's all thanks to you.
Well...
You better hurry up, Sarge. The Colonel's waiting.
Right. Here I go. Come in.
That's him. That's the man. I want him arrested.
Sergeant, would you mind explaining this?
Sir, what have they told you?
Is it true you asked this woman to marry you?
Yes, he did. And he can't deny it.
I think I'd better discuss this with the sergeant. Alone.
All right, but something's going to have to be done. We don't want to make trouble, but if we have to...
Well,
I can explain this whole thing, sir.
I certainly hope so.
Well, you see, sir, this girl is a con artist, a phony. Only one of my men didn't believe it, so I went out to prove something.
Yes. Did you ask her to marry you?
Well, sir, this man in my platoon was tricked into marrying her, and I was just trying to get him out.
Sergeant, did you ask her to marry you?
Well, it was the only way I could prove to this man that she was a con artist, sir.
A dangerous game. Did she trick you into proposing?
Oh, sir, I wouldn't fall for that old game. I tricked her.
Then you got your man out of trouble.
That's right, sir.
But you, Sergeant, are in big trouble.
But, Colonel, I proved that she was just after a meal ticket, a serviceman's allotment.
I think you're probably right, and I admire the fact you wanted to get your man out of trouble. But you handled it in the wrong way. You should have gone through channels, Sergeant. You know their department's set up for this sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what this fellow has in mind when he says he can make trouble, but I want this settled, quietly.
Yes, sir.
That's all, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, heartbreaker.
Oh, why don't you stop? You're not fooling anybody with that act of yours. What do you want?
We want to see you brought to justice for breach of promise. However,
I figured there was a however. What's your however?
nothing. It's just the lawsuits take so long, and we would like to leave for Oregon right away.
So?
So the technical term is settling out of court.
Oh, I get it. This is a shakedown. You know, them are common crooks.
Bite your tongue, Sergeant. There are also laws against slander. Now, do we settle this like reasonable people, or do I go in to see the colonel again?
Wait.
Yes?
Well, what kind of settling you talking about?
Well, I figure we could patch Alice's heart and get to Oregon on $500.
$500?
We're giving you a break because you're a serviceman.
Why, you...
Sergeant. You wouldn't want to add an assault and battery charge, would you? That's better. You can pay us any time as long as it's by Friday.
I feel terrible. Really terrible. Just terrible.
Okay, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes, there is. I can pay the $500 for you.
Where are you going to get $500?
Well, I could pay them $2 a month. That's what I put in my savings account.
Well,
It don't sound like much, but it adds up. That's $24 a year.
they're not going to wait 20 years for the money.
It's closer to 21. In fact, it's 21 exactly.
Look, let's just say this is a very expensive lesson, not to butt into anybody else's business.
But, Sergeant...
You can't help me, so forget it.
Well, where are you going to get $500?
I don't know. I could always sell my car. It's worth almost $900. I still owe $1,000 on it. I don't know, Pyle. I'll think of something. Just get out of here and leave me alone.
Right, Sergeant.
You gotta be kidding. $76.
But it was all I could get from my buddies. $76 down, and then $2 a month till it's all paid off, just like the way they do in department stores.
It's nice you want to help your sergeant, but we couldn't settle for $76.
Okay, but it's only fair to warn you. The weed of crime bears bitter fruit.
I don't believe him.
Pyle, what are you doing here?
He was just leaving.
I tried, Sergeant.
Huh?
You bring the money?
Yeah.
500?
Well, closer to 50.
Closer to 40. Well, a private here was going to do better than that.
Why don't you take the $76 and the 40, and we'll pay you the rest later? I got $76.
Now, wait a minute. What do you take us for? We want $500 and we're not going to settle for less.
Well, I can't get it this quick. I need more time.
How much more time?
About a year and a half.
Alice, let's call a lawyer.
Wait a minute, you can't do this to Sergeant Carter.
Oh, no. We've got a legitimate breach of promise case.
Pyle, will you stay out of this?
You gonna pay the money or not?
I can't get it this quick, I told you.
Alice, call.
But if this ever gets out, they'll be saying terrible things about Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, call, Alice.
Wait a minute. If anybody's reputation is going to get abused, then it ought to be mine, because I asked first.
What?
I asked you to marry me first, so I got first choice in getting sued.
You got $500?
No.
The lawyer, Alice, call him.
Wait a minute. You can't do that.
What's gonna stop me?
Well, I'll stop you.
Oh, really? How?
I'll marry you.
Marry me?
Marry you. You said you'd marry me before you said you'd marry Sergeant Carter, and I can't afford to get sued, so I guess I'll just have to marry you.
Pyle, you can't marry her.
You can't stop me, Sergeant.
Listen to your sergeant, kid.
No, I'm gonna marry her.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't marry you if you were the last guy.
Don't matter now, you promised.
Yeah. I think maybe it is time Pyle got married.
Lloyd, I'm not...
Shut up. Now, look, 500 isn't much if you split it between the two of you.
Yeah, but I think marriage would be good for Pyle. And this is a great day for a wedding. Yeah, I think it's about time Pyle settled down and had a few kids.
What?
Call the chaplain, Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant.
Wait a minute. Now, look, we're all friends here. If you're in a bind, we'll settle for $250.
Not a cent. Pyle's happiness is at stake. Call the chaplain.
Yes, Sergeant.
Wait a minute, hold it. Look, Alice don't want to marry the dummy. And the dummy don't want to marry Alice. So fair's fair. We'll just take the money you got and forget the whole thing.
And you won't sue Sergeant Carter?
No, we'll let it go.
Sounds fair to me, Sergeant.
Well, not to me.
That's our last offer, Jarhead. Alice don't have to marry him, and we'll still sue you.
He does have a point there, Sergeant.
He ain't got a point. We got the point. Go ahead and sue.
You think we won't? Alice, call the lawyer.
Pyle, call a lawyer.
You mean the chaplain?
I mean a lawyer.
But they're calling the lawyer. We're supposed to call a chaplain.
Not anymore. If she's suing me for jilting her, then you're suing her for jilting you.
What? Sergeant's right. Turnabout's fair play.
Oh, I should have thought of this before. We got the best end of the deal. She threw Pyle over to get me. Judges don't like that.
Oh, wait a minute, Sergeant.
Pyle, call the lawyer.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you've got a point. Alice and me, we'd like to discuss it for a minute. Maybe we could work out a settlement. Go on, Alice.
Sergeant, even if we can sue them more than they can sue us, I don't want to because it's not a fair and honest way to earn money.
Well, I don't want to sue them either. I just want to throw a scare into them to get them off our back. That's called diplomacy.
Well, what do you think they'll do? What if she decides she will marry me?
Now, she ain't gonna marry you. She ain't gonna marry me. She ain't gonna marry anybody. They're gonna try to weasel their way out of this, is what? Just watch. They'll come back in here. It looks like my diplomacy worked.
Sure did. Maybe they'll live a better life in Oregon.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I was just talking to myself.
Oh,
This picture here, it's not right.
it's not?
No, you see where the giant caterpillar is spinning a cocoon around the United Nations building? Well, in the movie, he spun it around Grant's tomb.
Oh, that's true.
Guess you think I'm kind of silly, but I always compare these publicity pictures with the movies. Did you ever do that?
Yes, I do.
I was talking to a young lady just the other evening about the very same thing, and she... You like monster movies?
Yes.
You like cherry sodas?
Yes.
Bye, ma'am. Sergeant? Sergeant? It's just me, Sergeant.
That's my big problem in life, Pyle. It's always you.
Just came by to pick up my pies for tonight, but if you're busy, I'll be glad to come back later.
No, forget it, Pyle. I got your pass right here. Just remember to knock next time, will you? Instead of barging in here, understand?
Right, Sergeant, and I'm sorry. What was that?
Huh? What's what?
Sounded like a dog. There it is again. Sounds like it's coming from over here.
Hey, you're getting kind of nosy, ain't you?
But I thought I heard a dog. You've done it, Sergeant. You got yourself a dog. It is a dog, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, you might as well have a look.
Ooh. Shazam.
A little birthday present from me to Bunny. Cute, huh?
Golly, I'll say, Sergeant, where'd you get him?
Corporal Walnick over in C Company. His mud had a whole litter of them, and since I didn't know what to get for Bunny...
She'll just love him. She'll just love him. Look at that little feller, and look at that cute little face.
Yeah, the perfect birthday present. And cheap, too. Didn't cost me a nickel. Well, now you had a good look, okay? So if you don't mind, Pyle.
I can just see Miss Bunny's face when she sees him.
Right. If I could ever get out of here, Pyle.
Right, Sergeant, I'm going now. And, Sergeant?
Yeah?
I'll bet you're the most thoughtful sergeant on this base. But that's you, always thinking about the other person.
I'll buy that.
Oh, yes. Oh, you're just the cutest, the absolutely most adorable little thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is, ain't he?
Tipper, how's that sound?
Huh?
Well, he's got to have a name. And look, Vince, he's got a little black spot right on the tip of his tail.
Tipper, huh? Yeah, I guess that's as good as any.
Oh, Vince, I gotta tell you, this is the nicest present I ever got, ever. Who would ever think of giving a puppy for a present?
Yeah, well, I figured you could always use a little companionship when I'm not around, that is.
You sure figured right. Oh, Vince, I just don't know how to thank you enough.
Don't worry, you'll think of something. Come on, let's go.
Go?
Well, sure, that's what I'm here for, ain't it? Take you out on the town?
Oh, Vince, we can't go off and leave little Tipper all alone.
Huh?
Leave a little puppy in a strange apartment on his first day here? Oh, Vince, you wouldn't want me to do that. Well, he's just like a little baby.
Oh, you want to stay home, huh?
We have to.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll stay home. Sure, I can whip up a couple of eyeballs. You can put on one of them ham and sweet potato frozen dinners.
Exactly.
And then who knows, maybe a nice romantic movie on television. What could be cozier? Huh, baby doll?
Oh, is that cute? Oh, look, Vince, he doesn't like you to do that.
Huh?
Go on, try it again. That's the cutest thing. If you weren't the most adorable little thing.
Yeah, adorable.
And to think he was all your idea. My little sweetie. Yes.
Oh, come on, Bunny. We stayed home last night and the night before that. And all your time is taken up with that dog. Honestly, I'm beginning to think I made a mistake ever bringing that mud over to you. Oh, no. I didn't mean it that way. No, of course I'd never take him back. I'd cross my heart. Okay, we'll stay home tonight. Huh? I don't care. Whatever you want to defrost. Well, chalk up another big night of pouring milk and spreading newspapers.
Up again, huh?
4 nights in a row. 4 nights. I can't get her out of that apartment.
Doesn't sound so bad to me, Vince. The two of you home all alone with time on your hands.
Not the 2 of us, the 3 of us. Remember, and baby makes 3?
Hey, Vince, you want to get out so bad. Maybe that's your answer.
Huh?
I mean, what do people do who have kids and want to get out? They get a babysitter.
So who's got a baby?
Well, you do. You said so yourself. You need a dog sitter.
I know about babysitters, but dog sitters?
Oh, yeah, they got them.
Oh, come on, Chuck. Where am I going to find an idiot silly enough to sit up all night with a dog?
Hey, Sergeant.
I think I know. Correct that. I know.
Excuse me, Sergeant. I just wanted to report that I finished that painting detail. It looks just like me.
Fine. Look, Pyle, I was wondering if you have anything special on for tonight.
Gosh, I don't know.
Well, to tell you the truth, Pyle, I was wondering if you'd like to drop by and kind of keep an eye on Bunny's new puppy tonight so as we can get away.
Golly, Sergeant. You really mean that? I'd be glad to.
Oh, good. That's good, Pyle. And I want to tell you you'll be doing me a big favor.
Oh, no, Sergeant. It's you that's doing me the favor. There's nothing in the world I like better than a little puppy. Of course, that's not counting you, Sergeant. I was just referring to animals. Golly, Sergeant, I can't tell you how I've been looking forward to this evening.
You and me both, Pyle. You and me both. Hiya, baby doll. I got a little surprise for you.
Hey, Miss Bunny.
Well, I wasn't expecting you.
Guess what? He's going to be a puppy sitter.
Puppy babysitter.
Don't you get it? So's you and I can get out and have a little fun.
Sure, Miss Bunny, you really ought to get out, especially after having been cooped up like you have.
Well, gee, fellas, I don't know.
What don't you know? Believe me, Pyle will take better care of Tipper than you will. And he's had lots of pets in his life, right, Pyle?
Yes, ma'am. I've had dogs and cats and birds and even a pig. Do you want to hear about the pig?
No. What do you say, Bunny?
Well, I could stand a night out at that. Well, you sure you know what to do?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's just a matter of common sense.
Sure. Come on, let's go.
Okay, Vince. Oh, I guess I better bring Tipper out so we can get used to you before we leave.
Good idea. Oh, thanks again, Pyle.
It's okay, Sergeant. I'm going to have every bit as much fun as you are.
You want to bet? Well, here we are out among the human race again. Admit it, it's nice, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you consider I got you all to myself for a change. Just the two of us. Which reminds me, I didn't tell you about the full itinerary for tonight. Now, here's what I got in mind. First, a nice energy-building blue plate special.
Excuse me. You Bunny Olson?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, you got a phone call. He said you'd be sitting with the sergeant. You can take it right over there.
Thanks. Wonder who'd be calling me.
I don't know.
You don't think something's happened to Tipper? Oh! Hello?
Hey, Miss Bunny.
Gomer, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing, ma'am. Everything's just fine. It's just that I hate to bother you with something so unimportant.
What does he want?
Shh. Oh, no, Gomer. It's no bother at all.
Well, I see that you got Tipper's bed under the sink. And I was just wondering, it's awful damp under there, especially for a little puppy.
Gee, I never thought of that.
But you know what? Right next to the broom closet, that's real dry, and he wouldn't get no draft from the window neither.
You're absolutely right, Gomer. I never thought of that. Next to the broom closet sounds much better.
Oh.
That's all I wanted. Thank you. I sure hope it wasn't no inconvenience calling you like this.
Well, it's okay, Gomer. I'm glad you did.
Well, you two go on and have a good time. Me and Tippers get along just fine and dandy.
Glad to hear it. Okay, Gomer. We'll see you a little later, huh? What? Oh, okay, I sure will. Bye-bye. Gomer said to say hey.
I'm touched. I'm really touched. Knucklehead. Wow, was that a dinner? Now, about that itinerary. Here's what I thought we'd do from here. First, maybe we'll stop at Jamaica Joe's for a couple of cha-chas, you know, to work off the dinner.
Sounds good.
Then, what do you say we take a nice, long drive out along the ocean? And maybe we can...
Miss Olson? You wanted on the phone again?
You're kidding.
It must be Gomer again. Oh.
Only this time let me talk to him, huh? I want a few words with him.
Vince, it could be important.
Sure, like which part of the newspaper does the mutt like best? The sports section or the financial page?
Never mind.
Hello?
Hey, Miss Bunny. It's me again. No, nothing to be alarmed about. It's just that I put Tipper down to sleep next to the broom closet, and, well, he keeps crawling back under the sink.
Oh, no.
What?
Do you know what I thought? He seems to feel real secure in the living room next to the TV set. I could keep him there.
Good idea, Gomer. Why don't you try that? Tipper keeps crawling back under the sink.
You gotta be kidding. That stupid meathead called you up to tell you that?
Hey, Miss Bunny, is that Sergeant Carter I hear?
You want to say hello?
Goodbye. That's what I want to say. Goodbye.
Hey, Sergeant Carter, are you and Miss Bunny having fun?
Yeah, Pyle, in between your phone calls, we're having a lot of fun.
Well, you two just stay out just as late as you want to, long as I know where I can reach you in case something important comes up.
I got news for you, Pyle. From here on in, you got any more hot flashes about that pooch, you're gonna have to send them by seagoing pigeon. You got that?
Oh, I sure do. But you be real careful now. Them oceanfront roads are real dark and twisty this time of night. And you know what? The ocean spray gets on those roads and they get real slick. You know what I'd do if I was you? Hello? Hello?
nice spot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about beautiful. I gotta tell you, as good as you looked in the restaurant, you look even better in the dark. All soft and feminine. Real kissable.
Oh, Vince, you know you got fuzz on your ears just like Tipper.
Yeah? I guess that makes us dogs of a feather, don't it?
You think Gomer got him down for the night?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vince. It's just that, well, this is the first time I've ever left him alone at night.
And what's with you? You're talking like you left a baby back home.
Well, it is a baby. He's only 3 months old.
A dog baby, a dog baby. And you didn't leave him alone. You left him with Pyle, Mr. Conscientious himself.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry, Vince.
Yeah, that's better.
It's just that Gomer can't reach us out here.
Yeah, ain't it the truth?
What if Gomer's having trouble?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
What if Tipper's sick and he can't reach us? Oh, Vince, we better go back.
Huh?
Oh, please, Vince, just for my own peace of mind. Pretty please.
Okay, okay. Why not? There's nothing out here but a bunch of crummy moonlight anyway.
Sergeant Carter, you back so soon?
Is he asleep? Did you get him down all right?
Everything's fine. I got him down about an hour ago.
Oh, okay, Pyle, thanks again. You can get lost now, you know what I mean. There's still some of the evening left.
Good night, Tipper.
What's the matter, sweetie?
Golly, I must have disturbed him.
Don't worry about it, Pyle. I can take care of him myself. You just get going.
Oh, better let me, Vince. Oh, what's the matter, sweetie?
If I may, Miss Bunny, all these faces all of a sudden is quite a shock. Come on, Tipper. Everything's gonna be all right. You just settle down.
Well, will you look at that, Vince? Gomer's the only one who can keep him quiet.
Yeah, a regular Pied Piper.
Well, I really do have to go.
Wait a minute, Gomer. You don't really have to go, do you? Tipper doesn't want you to.
Well, I really would like to stay, but I guess I better go.
Vince, you make him stay. You're his boss. You're the sergeant.
Well, sure, but if he says he's got to go, he's
I
got to...
didn't say I had to go. You was the one...
Okay, okay.
You hear that, Tipper? How about that? I'm gonna stay. I'm not going after all.
Oh, good. Now we can watch the late movie and keep Tipper happy at the same time.
Oh, come on, Walnick. It just didn't work out, that's all. My girlfriend has a job, and she just doesn't have time to take care of... I know I should have thought of that first. So why can't you take the puppy back, huh? Oh, you still got 2 of them left. Hey, what if I give you $5? What do you mean, no soap? Thanks a lot. This is ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. Dumb, stupid, and ridiculous.
It's really getting to you, isn't it?
I'm telling you, that pup has put some cramp in my style.
Things that bad, huh?
And it's not getting any better. You know what I got to look forward to for the next few months? Dog watching. And all I'm going to have to show for it is a stack of frozen dinner trays a mile high.
Doesn't sound so bad to me. Think of all the dough you're saving on restaurants.
Who cares? I'm tired of eating in. Besides, who do you think gets all that attention? Not me, that's for sure.
But just remember, Vince, it was your idea in the first place.
Yeah. He's still got 2 pups. So who cares if he's got 3? That Walnick. What am I groaning about? Who says Bunny has to know that Walnick won't take him back?
Well, what do you mean?
Hey, Sergeant, look what I got for you to take to Tipper. Best way in the world to make friends with a dog. A rubber mouse, and it's good for his teeth, too. He can go on and...
Thanks, Pyle, but I'm afraid you're a little too late. I was just telling the bad news to Boyle here.
What's wrong? What bad news?
I just talked to Corporal Walnick. Tipper's mother's having a real bad time of it. Won't eat, won't sleep, won't bark, nothing.
That's a shame, Sergeant.
Yeah, a case of a broken-hearted mother, if ever I heard of one. So what can I do? I had to tell Wolnick I'd send the pup back.
But, Sergeant, you couldn't.
I hated to, but I have to, Pop.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. I can imagine how you feel, Sergeant, knowing what Tipper means to Miss Bunny and all.
Like a rat. A real rat.
But you're doing the right thing. I guess there's nothing else you can do under the circumstances. Would you tuck this in Tipper's basket? It's kind of a going-away gift.
Sure thing, Pyle. And thanks. Huh? Huh? He went for it, hook, line, and sinker.
You're a genius, Vince.
Sure, and Bunny will go for the same bit. No muss, no fuss.
Just one little question, Vince. What about the puppy?
What about the puppy?
Where does he go? If Wolnick won't take him back, what's the plan?
Well, take him to a pet shop. That way, number one, he'll have lots of company during the day, and number two, sooner or later, some nice guy's gonna come in and take him home to some lucky kid. Oh, come on, Chuck. Would I do anything that wasn't on the up and up? You know me.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
I just wish you hadn't given him to me in the first place. I knew I had to give him back.
Oh, come on, Bunny. It's just one of those things that could happen to anybody and his mother.
I can't help it. I'm so used to the little thing. Always waiting for me when I get home from work.
Well, I guess I better take off, huh? Before we both fall apart. I mean, for all our sakes.
I guess you're right. No use crying over spilled milk. Oh, I'm sorry, Tipper, sweetie, but it's for your own good, honest. And who knows, maybe I'll even come and visit you now and then.
Yeah, sure you will. Look, Bunny, while I'm gone, why don't you get yourself all dolled up for a night on the town? You know, take your mind off things.
Okay, Vince. Whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, no use keeping your old lady waiting, huh, old sport?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. I got it all solved, Miss Bunny. I got it all solved.
You got what all solved? What are you doing with that horse?
It's not a horse, Sergeant. This is Cleopatra.
Who?
Cleopatra, Tipper's mama. I arranged with Corporal Wolnick to bring her over here twice a week so she can visit with Tipper.
You what?
See, Sergeant, now Tipper don't have to go back. He don't have to go back at all.
Gomer, you doll! Oh, you absolute doll!
Well, I knew I had to do something knowing how you and Sergeant Carter felt about Tipper. Ain't that right, Sergeant?
Did you hear that, Tipper? You're not going back after all. You're going to stay right here. You too, Gomer. You're going to stay for dinner so Tipper and his mama can spend as much time as they want together.
Bless his heart.
Not only do I have a puppy, now I got a puppy's mother, and Papa Puppy. I got a whole family.
Well, at least you have one consolation. He'll grow out of it, and then he won't need all that attention.
Sure. Then he'll be a bigger nuisance. I'll have to walk him around the block. I'll have to take him for his shots. I'll probably even have to fix him up with dates the way things are going now. No, I got to do something now before Bunny really gets too attached to him.
Well, what?
Well, you know, I've been thinking.
I know, I can see the perspiration.
I mean, what if we drop by Bunny's apartment? You know, while she's at work, I know where she leaves the key.
My sergeant, the dog napper.
It's not like that at all. I got it all worked out with a guy at the pet shop. He's gonna make sure that Tipper gets a nice home with lots of kids. I'm doing it as much for him as for me. What am I, a rat?
No comment.
Gone? Just like that? Oh, what a shame. Are you sure you looked all over? Look, Bunny, take it easy. I'll be right there. Just sit down and calm yourself. No, I'll check the pound. Yeah, I'll drive around the entire neighborhood. I promise. I'll look around real good. Okay.
Sounds kind of different with a knife in her back, doesn't she, Vince?
Oh, will you stop? Look, I told you. It was either me or the pup.
Hey, Sergeant, are you going into town?
Got bad news for you, Pyle. Real bad news this time. Bunny just called. The pup ran away.
He ran away?
Yeah, up and left.
Why, that's terrible, Sergeant. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah, well, look, I better rush over to Bunny. She's pretty upset. Take over, boy. I may be a while.
Why, that's the most terrible thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, how did he get out? How?
Look, Pyle, what's done is done. You know, I've got work to do.
Poor Miss Bunny. She was so attached to that little feller. Sure wish there's something I could do.
Poor little Tipper, wandering around, just whining his little heart out.
Oh, come on, Bunny. He's not wandering around. You know what? Some kid picked him up. Probably flipped over a Tipper the minute he saw him and took him back to a nice home.
But how can we be sure?
And I'll tell you something else. A kid can give a pup a lot more love than a working girl. You shouldn't have a dog, Bunny. Not when you have to leave him alone all the time.
Maybe you're right, Vince. It's just that I was getting so attached to Tipper, coming home to all that love and companionship.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll make sure you get all the love and companionship you can stand. Believe me, if I can't make you forget a little 2-pound puppy.
Tipper. Maybe it's somebody who found Tipper.
Well, I wouldn't set my hopes on it, honey.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh, Gomer, bless you. Where did you find him?
Wait till you hear, Miss Bunny. Just wait till you hear. You see, when the sergeant here told me the terrible news, I just couldn't sit around and do nothing. And then I got an idea. I thought to myself, well, what if somebody found Tipper and then couldn't take him home with them? What would they do? They might just sell him to a pet shop. What'd you say, Sergeant?
Huh? Oh, nothing. I just said,
Aren't you happy we found him?
Oh, sure. That's what that was. A sound of relief that we found him.
Vince, can you believe it?
No, I really can't.
Well, I guess I better get going and leave you three alone for a while.
Wait a minute, Gomer. Didn't you say you bought him back? How much did you have to pay for him?
Well, it was only $35.
$35?
That's right, Sergeant, and I wasn't about to argue either, knowing you wanted to get Tipper back from Miss Bunny at any price. I'm sorry to have put you to all this trouble, mister. Have a nice trip.
Boy, what a waste of time this is. I bet we've stopped 20 cars, and for what? Nothing.
Well, there must be smugglers operating in this area.
Oh, Gomer, you really believe that?
Well, why would the state police ask the Marines to cooperate in setting up all these roadblocks? It's all part of a big trap.
Some trap. Stuck out here in the boondocks, we got a better chance of trapping a gopher.
Well, you never know. The Mexican border's practically around the corner, and them smugglers is getting through somehow. Hey, Duke, here comes a car.
Gomer, believe me, it's nothing. Believe me, it's nothing.
What's the matter here? Something wrong?
Sorry to trouble you, ma'am, but we have orders to stop every car.
What? What are you talking about?
Gomer, she's no smuggler. That's all right, ma'am. You can be on your way.
Now, wait a minute, Duke. I know you're not a smuggler, ma'am. It's just that we have orders to search every car.
What do you think you're going to find in this car?
Well, you never know, ma'am. You could be the innocent carrier of smuggled goods. Them smugglers could have put some articles in your car unbeknownst to you.
For heaven's sake.
Gomer, will you let it...
Attention. Roadblock Charlie 3. Roadblock Charlie 3.
That's us. I'll get it. And let her go.
I'll search under the hood. That's always a favorite hiding place.
Roadblock Charlie 3 reporting.
Charlie 3, secure all equipment and prepare to move out. Transportation will pick you up at main intersection at 1300 hours. Acknowledge and over.
Roger. Okay, Gomer, let's wrap it up. We gotta meet the trot in 10 minutes.
Shazam, would you look at that?
What is it, Gomer? What'd you find? Jewelry, marijuana, what?
A corroded battery cable.
What?
Well, look for yourself. It's about ready to break off.
Oh, brother, never mind that. Let's pack up and get out of here. The truck's on its way.
Ma'am, if I was you, I'd try to get that fixed right away. It could give you some trouble.
That's Emo's service station for you. They're always in such a hurry.
And, ma'am, while you're at it, your fan belt's a little loose. You could have Emo tighten that up, too.
Gomer, let's go. We're gonna be late.
The fan belt, too?
Yes, ma'am. In the morning, how does she start up? Does she start up right away?
No. Not really.
Oh, boy.
I think I know what the trouble is. It's your spark plugs. I think you got weak plugs.
I'm certainly going to tell Emil about this. Young man,
Yes, ma'am.
would you please check the oil and water?
Oh, we're glad to.
Gomer, what are you doing? We gotta pack the radio.
Your water's fine, ma'am. You're about a half a quart down on your oil. Looks like to me she needs changing. You're getting a little greedy.
Thank you, young man. Emil's certainly going to hear it from me.
You mean you're not gonna do her windshield?
Oh,
Gomer!
Thank you very much, Private. You've been very kind.
it's okay, ma'am. You just tell Emil that a satisfied customer is a loyal customer.
I'll tell Emil all right.
Okay, Gomer? Too bad you don't give stamps.
No wonder people have so much trouble with their cars. Everybody's in such a hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Do you know who's not going to be in business very long? Emil.
My aching back. They call this equipment portable.
Well, if you want to rest a while, we could stop for a breather.
A breather? We'll be late for the truck. You and your car servicing.
Hey, there it is, there it is. You see? You was worried for nothing, Duke. We're here in plenty of time.
Hey, it's leaving. Hey, fellas, wait for us! Wait for Charlie! Wait! Wait! Well, that's a motor pool for you. They could have waited. Of all the rotten...
Can't blame them, Duke. We was late. Might as well make an example of us as anybody.
Yeah, and guess whose fault it is? Now, you sorry you didn't give that lady a wash and lube job, Gomer?
Sorry, Duke.
That helps. In the meantime, we're stuck way out here. It's at least 10 miles to the base.
I guess the only thing for us to do now is to hitch a ride. Folks are always happy to pick up servicemen.
You were saying about us picking up a ride, Gomer? Any particular day?
Hasn't been much traffic.
Well, I gotta rest, Gomer. This thing weighs a ton.
Hey, Duke, here comes one now.
What's up, boys?
Excuse me, sir. Are you going as far as the Marine base? Could we hitch a ride with you?
Well,
Please? This is awful heavy, and I really would appreciate it.
well, I suppose so. Okay.
Can we put this equipment in your trunk?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is real neighborly of you. My name's Gomer Pyle, private first classes, and this is my buddy, TFC Duke Slater.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Burton. You fellas been out on maneuvers?
Oh, no. We've been out helping the state police set up roadblocks. Do you know this whole area is infested with smugglers?
No kid.
Are you from around here, sir?
No, I'm from upstate. I'm just stopping off in town on some business.
Well, listen, if you're going to be in town a day or two, why don't you come out to the base? We can show you through our barracks and take you through the service club. We've got new ping pong tables and cork paddles.
Well, thanks. Perhaps some other time.
Well, you're welcome anytime, on account of we got all kinds of things you'd be interested in. Do you know what you might like to see? You might like to see our fat boys' gym. That's where we really slim them down.
Another time.
Uh-oh.
Samantha?
Listen,
Huh?
I think you've got a bad water pump.
What?
Gomer, don't start.
I think you've got a bad water pump. Have you been going to Emo service station, too?
Nothing, Mr. Burton, nothing at all. Thanks again for the lift. We really appreciate it.
It's okay.
Well, thanks again, Mr. Burton. And I'd have that water pump looked at. So long, Mr. Burton. You hear that? You can hear that water pump from here.
The radio!
We left it in Mr. Burton's trunk. What are we going to do?
That's a good question.
Oh, Dick, this is awful. What do we tell the sergeant?
What's even more scary is what Sergeant Carter gonna say to us.
Of all the bird brain, numbskull, knuckleheaded stunts.
You're right, Sergeant. It was just plain silly of us. And we could just kick ourselves, couldn't we, Duke? Just kick ourselves.
Now, hear this, you goofballs. That piece of equipment cost the government $650.
$650? That much?
And I signed for it. You understand that, Pyle? I am responsible.
Well, that's just not fair, Sergeant. It was our fault, and we should at least share in the responsibility.
Oh, really?
Sarge, there must be some way of getting that radio back. After all, we know the driver's name.
That's right. His name's Mr. Burton, and he's a real nice fella.
Yeah, I'll bet. Probably a real nice crook.
Oh, no, not Mr. Burton. And I'm sure we'd recognize the car. I'd know it anywhere.
Oh, you would, huh? Pyle, did you ever stop to think there are probably 1 million of them cars running around the country? Where do we start to look? Maine? How about Chicago?
Well, wait a minute. I just remembered. Mr. Burton's staying over here in town.
That's right, he's here on business.
Well, so what? A fat chance you gotta find him.
Please, Sarge, it's worth a try.
The town's not all that big.
Right. What do we got to lose?
Can we try, Sergeant, please?
You sure you'd recognize the car?
Yes, sir, Sergeant. I'm positive.
Go get changed. Slater, you stay here and answer the phone. Just on the slim chance this guy turns out not to be a crook and calls in.
Right, Sarge.
Yeah, and there's one more thing you can do. Pray. Well?
Nothing yet, Sergeant.
A wild goose chase. I'll tell you something, Pyle. If you don't find that radio, you're going to be court-martialed and shipped to a new base.
A new base?
That's right, Fort Leavenworth.
Leavenworth?
That's correct. You may become a 30-year man.
Sir, Sergeant, it's just... That's it. There it is, Sergeant. That's the car.
Are you sure this is the car, Pyle? Are you positive?
This is it, Sergeant. This is it. It was dark blue and had white sidewall tires. I remember. This is Mr. Burton's car, all right. Yeah, this is the car, all right. Boy, aren't we lucky, Sergeant?
Yeah, very. The trunk's locked.
Oh, well, then we'll just have to wait here till Mr. Burton gets back.
Well, what if he doesn't get back? He may be gone all day. We got to get this radio back to supply.
What do we do?
Well, there's nothing else I can do. I'll have to pick the lock.
Pick the lock? You're not thinking about breaking into Mr. Burton's car, are you?
Pyle, I don't have much choice. I hate to do it, but it's a $2 lock against $650 worth of government equipment.
But breaking in, Sergeant, we could get in a whole lot of trouble.
What do you think we're in right now? Just keep your eye out and see that we're not spotted. It's empty.
Sergeant, there's the car.
What'd you say?
That car that just passed, that's it. That's really it. That's the car.
Don't tell me that's the car. This is the car, the one we just broke into.
No, Sergeant, that's it. Mr. Burton was driving it. I recognized him.
But you told me... Oh. Oh, leave it alone. Come on.
This is the car, all right. I recognize the upholstery. Mr. Burton must have gone into one of these buildings.
Well, we're not waiting for him, that's for sure.
You're not going to do that again, are you, Sergeant?
Pyle, I told you I have no choice. Another empty. Pyle!
Hey, Harry, look over there down the street. That bulletin we just got about the 2 car thieves in Marine uniforms.
Pyle, what is it with you?
Well, I just don't understand, Sergeant. The radio's... Sergeant, the police.
Huh?
They're looking this way.
Let's go. was standing here just a minute ago.
Do you think they're gone yet?
Quiet, I can hear them.
Ow. I sure wish they'd go. My tailbone's backed up against the jack handle.
Maybe they ducked around the corner. Let's check.
Sounds like they took off. Let's hang on for another minute and then get out.
That was a close call, Sergeant. We was lucky, just plain lucky. We're moving, Sergeant. We're moving. Where are we going?
I don't know, Pyle, I don't know. But wherever it is, why do I have to go there with you?
I know this is all my fault, Sergeant, and I just want you to know how sorry I am.
Don't talk, Pyle. Just don't talk. Later we'll talk. We'll go back to my office, we'll move the furniture, lock the door, and then we'll have a talk. Oh, boy, will we talk.
Tell me, Sergeant, I know I'm responsible for that radio, and, well, if it means clearing your good name, I'm more than willing to go to penitentiary.
Oh, no, Pyle. If we don't find that radio, I'm the one going to the penitentiary.
You, Sergeant, but why should you go? I'm the one that should go.
You can't go, Pyle, because, you see, you're dead. I killed you. That's why I'm going, and it'll be worth every minute of it.
Looks like we're slowing down.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know? It's starting to rain. Do you hear it, Sergeant? You hear it?
Yeah, I hear.
That's a nice sound. Rain on the roof. I always did.
Knock it off. This may be the time to make our getaway. Come on, let's get this trunk open. Ready? 1, 2, go.
Believe me, I had no idea you fellas were trying to follow me.
Well, we had no choice, Mr. Burton. You see, that's a pretty expensive piece of government equipment.
I figured it was. That's why I put it in my motel room. The minute I found it, I wanted to get in touch with you boys, but I didn't know how.
Well, I knew it was safe. I just knew it. You see, Sergeant Carter and you was so worried. Sergeant Carter here thought you might be a sneak thief and try to make off with you.
Knock it off, Pyle. Do you mind, Mr. Burton?
Come on. Well, this is it, fellas. We'll go in and you can pick up the radio.
Sure picked a nice place to stay, Mr. Burton. Plenty of parking space. Look over there, Sergeant. They got free television. If you and Miss Bunny ever got married, this would be a nice place to spend your honeymoon.
Yeah, real good, Pyle.
Well, there it is, boys, if you want to check it over.
Boy, am I glad to see this again.
Gee, thank you, Mr. Burton, for keeping it so nice for us.
Okay, Pyle, stow that equipment and we'll give it the old heave-ho. And whatever you do, don't...
Don't worry, Sergeant. Nothing's gonna happen.
Pyle.
Personally, I think we owe Mr. Burton a whole heap of thanks for putting him in so much trouble. Sam!
Just get your hands up.
What's the angle? What did you bring them here for?
Forget it. Those uniforms are just the ticket for getting us through those roadblocks.
Sergeant, guess what? They're smugglers.
No kidding.
Let's get going.
What are you two waiting for? Get those uniforms off!
Mr. Burton, you may have done some awful things, but I just know you couldn't take the uniform off the back of a serviceman.
Well, the pants are a little too long, but the shirt fits fine.
You look terrific, boss.
I sure am surprised at you, Mr. Burton. I mean, anybody that's nice enough to pick up a serviceman didn't turn out like this.
You're breaking my heart. Come on, Nick, grab the radio and let's load it in the car.
The radio? What do you guys want with the radio? That won't do you any good.
Oh, yeah? Maybe it won't bring as much as a brand new one.
That beat-up old thing? You'll be lucky if you can give it away.
Yeah? Didn't you say it cost a lot of money?
Yes, he did. That radio cost a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Well, I just said that so my men would take better care of their equipment from now on. That radio's practically worthless.
Oh, no, Sergeant. You was right in the first place. Duke and me looked it up in the supply catalog. It's like you said, it cost $650.
$650, huh?
Maybe even more than that now. That was last year's catalog.
Thanks, pal. Now, maybe we won't sell it too cheap.
Nice going, Pyle. You just blew the radio.
Thanks for the uniform, boys.
Well, Nick, I guess you could say we're a couple of squared-away Marines.
Well, you don't look like squared-away Marines to me, that's for sure. Pyle! Well, they don't, Sergeant. They're not going to get very far with their pockets unbuttoned like that and those high class and the hat on at the wrong angle.
Well, thanks, pal. We'll take care of those little details so we don't get stopped.
Another thing, you ain't going to get very far with that bad water pump. That thing's ready to go on you any time now, and the sooner the better.
One last thing. You talk too much. And you've got a big mouth.
It worked, Sergeant, it worked. You try it. You come over here and try it. Just start rocking it and rock up on your feet. Come on. Come on, try it. Just go over there to the wall. Come on. That's it. The best thing to do is to hook that piece of tape up to the nail. You're too low, Sergeant. Just keep working yourself up there and try to catch it right in the middle. You go ahead now, and I'm going to try to get loose from this chair. I just knew it'd work. I just did. These cheap old kitchen chairs, they're easy to break away. You can do it too, Sergeant. Come on, I'll show you how. Come on over here. Jump on over here. Now just get yourself a good running start and back in. Huh? Oh, I'll untie you. There you go, Sergeant. Now get your feet. Sergeant, you ought not do that. That could smart.
We gotta find a phone booth fast.
Look, Sergeant, look.
Come on the double. Officer, boy, am I glad to see you. I think we can still catch them. Huh? Two crooks dressed in Marine uniforms, and they gotta be heading toward the border.
Except I don't think they're gonna get very far, not with that bad water pump.
Yeah, but we can't count on that. Let's go.
What is this? What do you think you're doing anyway?
I'm telling you, two crooks dressed in Marine uniforms. While we're talking, they're getting away.
Look, we know all about crooks in Marine uniforms. We've already got a report on them breaking into a car.
You did? Well, that wasn't the crooks. That was...
Oh, listen, fellas, why can't we get started? Aren't we just wasting time talking?
Look, we can't take off every time somebody points out a suspicious character, and we're going to wait here for orders. So get out of this car, both of you.
I'm telling you, but we know the car. We know them.
Beat it.
Okay. Now you gotta take us. See?
You guys really are a pain. Unlock him, Frank, and kick him out of here.
No, let's take them in.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll check out the highway before we do it. Wise guys, huh? What's that look like?
I don't know. I'll take a look.
Look, Sergeant Carter, there's the car.
Yeah.
I was right. Their water pump did give out on them.
Well, boys, what's the trouble?
Oh, just a little trouble with the water pump is all. It's cooling off, though. Boy, I'd sure like to get my hands on the guy who sold me this car. They'll take advantage of a serviceman every time.
Yeah, I guess they will. Well, take it easy.
Why didn't you grab him? Why didn't you grab him?
That's them. That's the smugglers.
Hey, didn't you say the cooks had a busted water pump?
That's right. That's it. That's the one.
Let's go, Harry.
You really don't have to hurry. They're not going to get very far.
Halt! Halt!
He got him. He got him. See, officer, I told you. I knew they wouldn't get far with that water pump.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, you listen to this boy. He used to work at a filling station. He knows all about cars, right, Pyle?
Right. And speaking of that, when have you had this squad car serviced? I think you're about due for a tune-up. You might have these shock absorbers looked at. They don't feel quite right. It might be, though, that your wheels need alignment.
Well, thanks a lot, fellas.
Are you kidding? Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Well, you got more luck than you deserve.
Sure nice of those police officers. If it hadn't been for them, we wouldn't have gotten our uniforms back or the radio or...
The radio.
As his own defense attorney. I object, sir. You can't call Sidney stupid. He may have had an unhappy childhood. Just as the judge was about to pass sentence, McHale and the boys wheeled in the witness. Sidney the alligator, with the wallet still firmly wedged in his jaws. Exhibit A, McHale shouted. Sidney, startled by the gavel, lunged for Binghamton. The captain scrambled up a flagpole. In the chaos, the crew managed to recover the payroll, which had been hidden inside an old decorative cannon, too. Keep it safe. To prove their innocence, McHale lit the cannon to show it was just a prop. Instead of a cannonball, $62, 000 in cash exploded into the air, raining down on the assembled officers like green confetti. Manna from heaven, Gruber yelled, catching a handful of 20s. Binghamton, still hanging from the flagpole, could only watch as his perfect trap turned into a literal money shower for the men he hated most. McHale, he screamed into the tropical wind. I'll get you for this, if it's the last thing I do. But McHale just smiled, lit a cigar, and watched the money fall. On Teratupa, the war was long, the heat was brutal, but the laughs were free. Epilogue. Weeks later, a postcard arrived from McHale. Dear Acting Base Commander, having a wonderful time. Can't thank you enough for the vacation. Ever so fondly, Wally. P.S. Excuse the ink blots. My martini spilled. McHale tossed the card into the Pacific. Back to work, boys. I think I hear a garbage scow that needs torpedoing. The Pirates of Teratupa. A novel of naval misadventure. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Coming Storm. The South Pacific Sun was not merely a celestial body. On the island of Teratupa, it was a personal enemy. It beat down on the corrugated iron roofs of the naval base with ferocity that made the air shimmer like a cheap hallucination inside the commanding officer's office. Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, known to his less than loyal subordinates as Old Lead Bottom, was having a morning that could only be described as acidic. Wow, 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 wow. Binghamton sputtered, his voice cracking like a dry reed. He stared at the man across from him, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. Carpenter was the kind of officer who would salute a seagull if it wore a hat. Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. But, sir, Carpenter whined, dabbing sweat from his upper lip. The logistics are impossible. We're in a war zone. What a war, Binghamton groaned, clutching his stomach as if it were a ticking bomb. Everything is on my shoulders. The Sinks and the Petty Officers Club are backing up. The Japanese are 10 miles out, and now I'm a lingerie salesman. The telephone on his desk jangled. Binghamton snatched it up. Hello. Yes. This is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect to find in my office? Tokyo Rose? What? The The sinks? I'm the commanding officer here. I'm not a plumber. Go tell it to McHale. He slammed the phone down and turned to Carpenter with a look of pure, unadulterated terror. I just got a message. Admiral Rafferty, Iron Pants Rafferty, is arriving today on a sneak. Inspection. Do you realize what a mess this place is in? Binghamton popped a handful of antacid pills into his mouth like they were candy. Sir, please, Carpenter pleaded. Your stomach acid could start a car. Take it easy on those. I don't care. I don't care. Binghamton paced the small office. Wait a minute. If I were sick, really sick, I could appoint an acting base commander. He would have, to face the Admiral's wrath. And I know just the man. A slow, devious smile spread across his face. It was the smile of a man who had just decided to throw someone else to the sharks. Not you. Carpenter, you're a boob. I'm thinking of McHale, with McHale and his cutthroats in charge. They'll run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the Admiral. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, sir, Carpenter agreed, though he looked slightly confused. I look sick, don't I? Binghamton asked, suddenly slumping into his chair. Terribly sick. Call the medic. Hurry. I'm not well. As Carpenter ran out screaming for help, Binghamton practiced his deathbed groan. He didn't know it yet, but he was about to set in motion a chain of events that would involve laughing gas, a sultan, a thieving alligator, and a missing peril, all of which would haunt his dreams for years to come. Chapter 2. The Acting Base Commander. Commander Quentin McHale was a man of the sea, which usually meant he was a man of the gin, the poker game, and the perpetual tan. His crew on the PT-73 was less a military unit and more of a traveling circus of misfits. When McHale was summoned to the base hospital, he found Binghamton looking like a man who had been flattened by a steamroller. "Oh, McHale," Binghamton moaned, his head propped up by a mountain of pillows. "I'm in bad shape. Bad shape." "Gee, Captain, I'm sorry," McHale said, his tone suggesting he was about as sorry as a shark is for a wounded seal. "What do the tests say?" "Tests? They don't know. All I know is I'm a very sick man. I'm appointing you acting base. Commander McHale, you and your executive officer, Parker. Ensign Charles Parker, a man whose primary combat skill was accidentally discharging his own firearm, beamed. Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Skipper? Acting Executive Officer Parker. You'll never regret this. Captain. Binghamton closed his eyes. I know. Now get out. Go to my office. Take command this minute. That's an order. As soon as they left, McHale turned to his crew, Gruber, Christie, Tinker, Virgil, and Willie. All right, gypsies, you heard the man. Let's move in. We got a base to run. And the skipper says full speed ahead. Within 2 hours, the Taratupa Naval Base had undergone a radical transformation. The discipline of the U.S. Navy was replaced by the aesthetics of a tropical resort. Sinks were still backed up, but nobody cared because a little action had been organized. Step right up, Gruber shouted, gesturing toward a makeshift stage. Beautiful girls, hula hotshots, wiggle your blues away. A group of local girls in grass skirts began to dance as the sailors cheered. A gambling ring was established behind the supply hut, and Willie still was producing a batch of torpedo juice that could melt the paint off A, destroyer. It was in this atmosphere of festive chaos that Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty's plane touched down. Commander McHale at your service, sir. McHale shouted, saluting as Rafferty stepped out of his jeep. Rafferty looked at McHale, then at Parker, then at the lay around Parker's neck. What the devil is that thing around your neck, ensign? Oh, it's an old native custom, sir. Parker squeaked. Welcome ashore. I heard Binghamton was in the hospital, Rafferty barked. I'll pay my respects, then we'll begin the inspection. I expect this base to be ship-shape. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Binghamton was practically vibrating with excitement. When I tip off the Admiral about the hula girls and the Roman orgy McHale has set up, his career is going up in smoke. He threw off his covers, only to find a nurse, Lieutenant Wilson, standing there in a swimsuit. "Captain, I thought you were working too hard, so I came to take you for a swim." "Get out. Get in the closet." Binghamton hissed as he heard Rafferty's voice approaching. The inspection turned into a farce. Every time Rafferty pointed at something suspicious, McHale had a fast-talking explanation. When Binghamton, dressed in a seaman's uniform to catch them in the act, tried to point out the hula girls in the air raid shelter, the girls had already been moved to the laundry shack. When he pointed to the laundry shack, they were gone. By the end of the day, Rafferty was convinced that Captain Binghamton was suffering from hallucinations about girls. War does terrible things to a man's mind. McHale sighed sympathetically as they watched the raving Binghamton being dragged back to the hospital in a straitjacket. "Quite right, McHale," Rafferty nodded. "Back to bed, Captain. That's an order." Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Scams. A few weeks later, the air raid shelter was once again the center of a crisis, but this time it involved royalty. "We are to expect a visit from the Sultan of Marami," Binghamton announced. His eyebrows finally began to grow back after a minor explosion involving the PT-73. He's arriving with his 3 daughters. "The Admiral wants us to make a 100% impression, and that means McHale and his riffraff must be nowhere near the base." Binghamton ordered the PT-73 on a reconnaissance mission to a deserted strip called Aku Aku. However, fate had other plans. The Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and was forced down near the island of Samura, exactly where McHale was patrolling. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, bowing as he helped the Sultan onto the 73 boat. "I am Quentin McHale. My crew and I are here to serve you." The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage, looked skeptical. "Are these men to be trusted with my daughters and my priceless cargo?" "Wowie, wow, wow," Gruber exclaimed, catching a glimpse of the princesses. "Were you and Mirani? Like a chicken," the Sultan snapped. "He didn't mean any harm, Highness," McHale said quickly. "In our country, that's a ceremonial greeting. Wowie, wow, wow, wow." By the time they reached the base, the Sultan was so impressed with McHale's skillful boat handling, which mostly involved letting. The Sultan steered the boat into a sandbar that he insisted McHale attend the state dinner. Binghamton was livid. "I want you to make sure everything is in order, McHale, or I'll have your head." But the crew of the 73 had their own problems. Virgil had fallen for one of the princesses, Siri, and had convinced the crew to borrow the PT-73 for a private boat ride. When the engines conked out in the middle of the lagoon, the crew realized they had stalled the Sultan's dinner. The solution? A classic masquerade. "The princesses are still dressing," Binghamton told the Sultan, sweating profusely. "But they've sent word. They want to dance for you." 2 of the princesses came out and began a veiled dance. They moved with a strange, rhythmic clunkiness that suggested they had spent more time on a PT boat than in a palace. One of these girls is an imposter. Binghamton roared, suddenly suspicious. He lunged forward and grabbed a dancer. You phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest." He pulled the veil away to reveal Ensign Parker in a wig and a silk sash. "Halt!" Parker squeaked. The Sultan stood up, his face purple. "Captain, your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department. My daughters have been insulted." "But, sir, I thought he was a bunny." Binghamton wailed as the Sultan stormed out. Once again, McHale had survived, and Binghamton was left explaining to Washington why he had tried to arrest a foreign princess who turned out to be his own executive officer. Chapter 4. The Hero of the Laughing Gas. The tension on the base reached a breaking point when Ensign Parker accidentally ran over Captain Binghamton with the PT-73 during a botched docking maneuver. I've had it. Binghamton screamed from his hospital bed, his second home. I am calling a fitness board. I'm breaking Parker down to seaman second class. He's finished. He's done. He's kaput. The crew of the 73 knew they had to save Chucky Wucky. Their plan was simple: get Binghamton in a good mood. And since natural charm wasn't working, they turned to science. Or specifically, the base dentist supply of nitrous oxide. 1 tank of 100-proof laughing gas, Gruber whispered, sneaking the canister toward the captain's office window, compliments of the dental clinic. As the gas began to waft into the office, Binghamton's mood underwent a terrifying transformation. "Oh, McCall, my old pal." Binghamton giggled, throwing his arms around McHale. "What's a little torpedo between friends? And Chucky Wucky, you torpedoed the garbage boat? Oh, that's a riot. I love it." "He's hysterical," Parker whispered, terrified. "Is it working?" "Working? He's probably going to promote you to admiral." McHale laughed. But the plan went sideways when the laughing gas made Binghamton so giddy that he wandered out onto the base during a sudden Japanese air raid. "Look at the flies," Binghamton chirped, pointing at the incoming Zeros. "Frangipani flies. They're so pretty." "Captain, get down," McHale shouted. Parker, seeing the danger, lunged for a machine gun. In his gas-induced bravery and total lack of coordination, he began spinning the gun wildly. "I've got you, Bingy Wingy." Rat-tat-tat-tat. By some miracle of physics that scientists still cannot explain, Parker's wild spray of bullets intersected with the flight path of an enemy bomber. The plane erupted in a ball of fire and plunged into the sea. When the smoke cleared, Admiral Shoemaker, who had arrived for the fitness board, was staring in awe. "Magnificent," Shoemaker declared. "Ensign Parker, you stood laughing in the face of death and shot down a bomber single-handedly. This man isn't unfit. For duty, he's a hero. Captain Binghamton, how could you possibly think this man should be broken?" A still giggling Binghamton looked at the Admiral. "Oh, Admiral, you're so cute. Do you want to go on sick call together?" Parker was saved. Binghamton was sedated, and the PT-73 crew spent the night celebrating with a batch of champagne they had found in Binghamton's private piggy bank. Chapter 5, Sidney the Witness. If there was one thing Captain Binghamton hated more than McHale, it was McHale's choice of pets. The crew had adopted an alligator they named Sidney. Sidney was a creature of simple tastes. He liked the sun, he liked the water, and he had an inexplicable addiction to Ensign Parker's mother's peanut butter. "I am not having a reptilian mascot on this base," Binghamton roared. To prove McHale and his crew were thieves, Binghamton had set a trap. He marked $900 in brand-new bills, put them in his wallet, and accidentally dropped it near the PT-73. When they pocket the money, wham, it's brig time. Binghamton whispered to Carpenter. But Sidney, the alligator, got there first. He didn't want the money. He just liked the way the leather wallet felt on his gums. He snatched it up and retreated into the swamp. When Binghamton found his ID card in Sidney's mouth, he naturally assumed McHale had fed him the evidence. He immediately convened a court-martial for Ensign Parker. "I intend to prove to this court," Binghamton declared, pointing a finger at Parker, "that my wallet was stolen by this deceitful ball of incompetence." "I object," Parker cried. "I demand mistrial on the grounds of temporary insanity. The alligator who stole the wallet was crazy about my mother's peanut butter." The courtroom erupted in laughter. "Order!" the judge advocate shouted. "Captain Binghamton, do you have any evidence?" "I have the ID card," Binghamton yelled. "And I have the alligator. McHale, bring in the witness." McHale and the crew hauled Sidney into the courtroom. The alligator looked bored until he saw Parker. "Open up, Sidney," McHale whispered. "Show the nice judge what you have." Sidney opened his mouth, and there, nestled against his tongue, was the wallet, completely intact, along with the marked $900. Exhibitor for the defense. McHale announced. Aha! Parker shouted, suddenly finding his legal voice. As lawyer for my own defense, I charged the new defendant, Captain Binghamton, with trying to frame my client, a poor, defenseless alligator. Binghamton turned purple. I'll kill him. I'll kill that lizard. The court-martial was dismissed. Sidney was given a hero's welcome and an extra jar of peanut butter. And Binghamton was ordered to pay for the unnecessary trauma inflicted upon the alligator. Chapter 6. The Ghost of PT-13. Fear is a powerful motivator, and the crew of the 73 knew that Binghamton was terrified of the supernatural. When the captain tried to force the crew into permanent transfers to a dangerous combat zone by falsifying their records, McHale decided it was time for a haunting. They changed the number on the boat from 73 to 13. The PT-13 is a jinx boat. Gruber whispered loudly where Carpenter could hear. 2 crews drowned, blown up by exploding gas tanks. It's a floating Jonah. Binghamton laughed it off until the haunting began. In the dead of night, the engines of the 13 boat began to roar to life on their own, thanks to a remote wire. Gun turrets spun. Eerie lights flickered. We have come back from the grave to see you, Captain. McHale's voice echoed through the bass, distorted by a megaphone. Binghamton, trembling in his pajamas, saw a ghost, the crew in white sheets, floating toward his office. Oh, McHale, I thought you were dead. Binghamton shrieked. Of course we're dead, Wally, McHale's ghost moaned. And we want the transfers. We need them for our records. They run a tight cloud up there. Take them. Take them. Binghamton threw the papers at the ghost and dived under his desk. The next morning, when McHale returned from his mission, very much alive, Binghamton realized he had been tricked, but it was too late. The papers had already been shredded. Watch out for the ladders, Captain, McHale said with a wink. They're bad luck. Chapter 7. The Great Payroll Heist. The final adventure took the crew to New Caledonia. They had been restricted to the boat by Binghamton, but naturally, they had ignored the order the moment the captain left for his conference. Restriction is for people who don't know how to have fun, McHale declared, leading the crew into the streets of Noumea. However, the fun ended when the base payroll, $62, 000 in cash, was hijacked right from under Ensign Parker's nose. I saw a girl's ankle. Parker cried, trying to describe the scene to a furious McHale. She had a little brown heart birthmark on her right ankle. I remember because I grabbed it. The crew spent the next 8 hours scouring every cafe and casino in New Caledonia, looking for a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark. It was a search that involved tipping over tables, checking ankles, and narrowly avoiding Captain Binghamton at every turn. I've got you this time, McHale. Binghamton screamed when he finally spotted them. Where is the payroll? You absconded with it. We're looking for it, Captain, McHale shouted as they chased a suspicious man in a gray suit through a crowded market. The chase ended in a frantic shootout involving a ceremonial French cannon that Parker accidentally ignited with a cigar. Boom! The cannon fired, not a shell, but a blizzard of paper. It's raining money, Gruber yelled. The hijackers had stashed the $62,000 inside the old cannon, thinking no one would ever fire it. As the bills fluttered down like green snow, Binghamton scrambled to catch them. 1, 2, 3. Binghamton counted, his eyes wide with greed and relief. I wasn't worried for a second, Captain, McHale said, leaning against the cannon. I knew we'd find it. Shut up, McHale, Binghamton muttered, clutching a handful of 20s. Just shut up. As the PT-73 headed back toward Teratupa, the sun setting behind them in a blaze of orange and purple, McHale looked at his crew. They were tired, they were broke, and they were in deep trouble for about 5 different things. Well, boys, McHale grinned. At least it wasn't a boring trip. And on the shore, Captain Binghamton stood watching them, already planning his next get-well scheme, unaware that Sidney the alligator was currently eyeing his other wallet. The end. The Pirates of Taratupa. A novel of comedy, chaos, and command. Chapter 1. The Stomach Acid of Command. The South Pacific sun beat down on Taratupa with the relentless intensity of a drill sergeant. Inside the command office, Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, known affectionately and exclusively behind his back as Old Lead Bottom, felt every degree of that heat in his rising blood pressure. He stared at a requisition form that would have made a lesser man weep. Wow! 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 Binghamton muttered, his voice reaching a pitch usually reserved for bird calls. He waved a paper at a sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. But, sir, Carpenter stammered, the logistics be damned. Everything is on my shoulders. Binghamton slumped into his chair, which groaned in sympathy. And now this, I just got a message from a pal at Comfleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today for a sneak inspection. The name hit the room like a depth charge. Rafferty was a man who polished his own medals with the tears of incompetent officers. Do you realize what a mess this place is in? Binghamton gestured wildly at the window, where the tropical island of Taratupa looked less like a military outpost and more like a beach, resort for the criminally disorganized. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. Tokyo Rose probably knows about our plumbing. Issues before I do. He popped a pill into his mouth, grimacing. My stomach acid could start a car, Carpenter. It really could. Please, sir, take it easy on those pills, Carpenter urged. They give you indigestion. I don't care. I just don't care. Binghamton's eyes suddenly widened as a spark of devious inspiration lit up his face. Wait a minute. If I were sick, truly, terribly, medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the brunt of Rafferty's wrath. Brilliant, sir. But who? Binghamton grinned, a look that usually preceded someone getting court-martialed. Not Julian. Not Ninny. McHale. With Quentin McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge. They'll run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the Admiral. I'll be in a hospital. Bed, innocent and ailing, while McHale gets busted down to seaman second class. Chapter 2. The Happiest Illness. Commander Quentin McHale was a man of the sea, which meant he spent as much time as possible avoiding the land-based bureaucracy of the U.S. Navy. When he was summoned to Binghamton's deathbed, he found the captain draped in a robe, groaning like a haunted house. Oh, McHale, Binghamton wheezed. It's bad, real bad. The medics don't know what it is. I'm in no shape to lead. I'm appointing you. Acting base commander. McHale blinked. Me? Captain, you must be kidding. I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk. I'm not kidding. Binghamton cried, then remembered to cough pathetically. And I'm appointing Ensign Parker here as your acting executive officer. Parker, a man whose primary relationship with gravity was one of frequent and sudden failure, beamed. Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain. I know I won't, Binghamton whispered as they left. As soon as the door clicked shut, he sat up. This is going to be one of the happiest illnesses of my life. Within an hour, Taratupa transformed. McHale's crew, Gruber, Virgil, Christie, and the rest, didn't see command as a responsibility. They saw it as a license. The Petty Officers Club didn't just get its sinks fixed. It got a floor-to-show hula troupe and a gambling ring that would make Las Vegas look like a Sunday. School. Tell the boys full speed ahead. McHale told the crew, busy juggling 3 phone calls. Garter belts to the nurses? Send a shindig for CBs? Throw it. Meanwhile, Iron Pants Rafferty's plane touched down. Chapter 3, The Closet Incident. Binghamton, watching through the hospital window, cackled as he saw the chaos unfolding. The lost boys of Peter Pan Island didn't let me down. Carpenter, they've turned Teratupa into a regular Roman orgy. He jumped back into bed as Admiral Rafferty marched in. Rafferty looked like he was carved out of granite and dipped in starch. Binghamton, Rafferty barked. Sorry to see you laid up. Thank you, Admiral. It's the stress. But you must go see the air raid shelter. Sir, immediately. You won't believe what's going on while I'm at death's door. McHale and Parker scrambled to lead the Admiral through the base. Every corner turned was a potential disaster. What is that thing around your neck, ensign? Rafferty asked, eyeing a lay on Parker's neck. An old native custom, sir? Parker squeaked. They reached the hospital ward where Binghamton was recuperating. Binghamton, desperate to expose the crew, began shouting about hula girls in the air raid shelters. He's delirious, sir. McHale interrupted. Combat fatigue. I am not. They're in the closet. Look in the closet. Binghamton screamed. Rafferty sighed and opened the closet. Out tumbled a confused Lieutenant Nurse Wilson in a swimsuit, followed by several rolls of garter belts. Captain, Rafferty said, his voice cold enough to freeze bourbon. I'd like an explanation, and it better be good. It was McHale. He put her there. The man is suffering from hallucinations, Rafferty concluded, looking at Binghamton with pity. A nice long rest in the psychiatric ward, I think. McHale, you stay in command. You seem to have the only level head on this island. Binghamton's scream of frustration was heard all the way to Tokyo. Chapter 4, The Sultan and the Scoundrels. Weeks later, after Binghamton had recovered, mostly through sheer spite, a new crisis arrived. The Sultan of Marami and his 3 princesses were coming to Teratupa for a diplomatic visit. 100% order. Binghamton barked at his men. I want an impression made. No McHale. No riffraff. He ordered the PT-73 out on a useless recon mission to a deserted strip called Aku Aku. But as luck, or the script, would have it, the Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and forced a landing near, you guessed it, Aku Aku. McHale and his crew arrived to find the Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage. Greetings, Your Highness, McHale said, bowing. I am Commander McHale. We are here to serve you. Wowie, wow, wow, Gruber whispered, looking at the princesses. Like a chicken, the Sultan snapped, offended by the crew's informal demeanor. The next man who debases the dignity of the princesses will answer to me. On the boat ride back, the Sultan, fascinated by the PT boat's power, insisted on steering. McHale, ever the diplomat, led him. The resulting zigzagging nearly sent Ensign Parker overboard. Back at the base, Binghamton tried to take over. He threw a lavish dinner, excluding McHale, until the Sultan insisted his rescuer attend. The dinner was a comedy of errors. Parker, in a desperate attempt to help the princesses, who had snuck out for a boat ride with the crew, dressed up in a veil and tried to dance as a third daughter. Binghamton, suspecting a phony Balinese bunny, grabbed the dancer. You're under arrest, you imposter. He ripped off the veil to find a terrified, wig-wearing Ensign Parker. Captain, the Sultan roared, your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department. My daughters are not for your amusement. Binghamton stood there holding a wig, wondering if it was too late to rejoin the psychiatric ward. Chapter 5, The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The friction between Binghamton and Parker finally reached a breaking point when the captain ordered a fitness board to convene. He wanted Parker out of the Navy. He torpedoed a garbage scow, McHale. Binghamton yelled. He said he thought it was a nip sub camouflage with potato peels. The crew knew they had to save Parker. Their solution? Science. Specifically, a tank of nitrous oxide, laughing gas, stolen from the base dentist. The plan is simple, McHale explained. We pipe the gas into Binghamton's office. He gets happy. He cancels the board. Parker stays. As the gas flooded the office, Binghamton's scowl began to melt. He looked at McHale and giggled. McHale, you're a real card, a regular joker. An Ensign Parker, sir. Chucky Wucky? I love Chucky Wucky. He's my pal. Cancel the board. Give him a medal. The plan was working perfectly until Admiral Shoemaker, the head of the fitness board, arrived early. He found the captain dancing on a desk and singing about hula girls. Binghamton, what in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on? Shoemaker demanded. The gas began to wear off just as an actual air raid siren went off. Parker, still slightly enhanced by the gas, ran out to the anti-aircraft guns. In a fit of hysterical bravery, he managed to shoot down a Japanese bomber while laughing like a maniac. Magnificent, Shoemaker exclaimed. A man who stands in the face of death with a smile? That lad was born to be a combat officer. Binghamton, you're the one who needs a fitness review. Chapter 6, Sydney and the Payroll. The crew's luck was tested to the limit during a trip to New Caledonia, tasked with picking up the base payroll, $62, 000 in small. Unmarked bills. Parker managed to lose the bag during a confusing encounter with a beautiful French girl. I saw a heart. Parker cried. A birthmark on her ankle. While the crew scoured the streets for a girl with a heart on her ankle, they encountered a local resident, Sydney, a friendly but massive alligator who had a taste for peanut butter sandwiches and, apparently, leather wallets. Binghamton, convinced the crew had stolen the money, arrived in New Caledonia to catch them red-handed. He set a trap with his own wallet, but Sydney the alligator snatched it first. Sydney ate the captain. Parker screamed, finding the alligator with Binghamton's ID card in its mouth. The ensuing court-martial was a circus. The defense's key witness was Sydney himself, who was led into the courtroom with a peanut butter sandwich. I object, Binghamton shouted. You can't put an alligator on the stand. He's the only one with the evidence, sir, McHale countered. Sydney yawned, and out of his mouth popped a charred, wet canvas bag, the $62,000 payroll. Aha! Binghamton cried, reaching for it. Evidence! But the money was stuck. The only way to get out was to fire the old ceremonial cannon Sydney had crawled into. With a massive boom, the cannon fired, raining $62,000 in crisp bills over the entire harbor. Manna from heaven, the locals shouted, diving into the water. Binghamton stood there, covered in falling cash, while McHale and his crew began the long, arduous task of collecting the evidence, one bill for the Navy, one bill for the crew's retirement fund. Chapter 7, The Ghost of PT-13. In a final attempt to break the crew, Binghamton tried a psychological approach. He produced a forged document proving that the PT-73 was actually the PT-13, a Jinx boat with a history of explosions and ghosts. You're on a Jonah ship, McHale. Binghamton warned. You're all doomed. The crew, surprisingly superstitious, began to panic. Strange noises echoed in the night. Lights flickered. Parker swore he saw a spectral figure in the rigging. McHale realized Binghamton was behind the haunting. He decided to outghost the captain. That night, the crew dressed in white sheets and covered themselves in phosphorus paint. They snuck into Binghamton's quarters while he slept. Wallace be Binghamton, they wailed. Binghamton woke up to see a glowing, spectral crew surrounding his bed. McHale, is it you? Are you dead? We've come from the big PT boat in the sky, Wally, McHale's voice echoed. "And we've come for transfers. Sign them, Wally, or come with us to the depths." Terrified, Binghamton signed the transfer papers that would move the crew to a luxury assignment in Hawaii. The next morning, the ghosts were gone, and McHale was waving the signed papers in the air. Binghamton realized he'd been had, but the papers were legal, witnessed, and already on a plane to Comfleet. Epilogue: The Sunset of Teratupa. As the sun set over Teratupa, the PT-73 sat peacefully at the dock. Binghamton sat in his office, his eyebrows finally starting to grow back, watching McHale's crew share a final round of liberated champagne. "You know, Carpenter," Binghamton sighed, "sometimes I think those pirates are the only thing keeping me sane." "Really, sir?" "No, I hate them. Get me the Admiral. I want to report a haunting." But the Admiral was already on the line, thanking Captain Binghamton for the excellent morale and innovative leadership demonstrated by his acting commander, Quinton McHale. Binghamton put the phone down, took 2 indigestion tablets, and looked at the garter belt requisition form. "Wow," he whispered. "Wow, wow, wow, wow." The end. The Pirates of Teratupa, a novel of military malpractice, alligators, and laughing gas. Chapter 1, The Great Garter Belt Crisis. The humidity on Teratupa Island was thick enough to chew, but Captain Wallace B. Binghamton's blood pressure was rising even faster than the morning sun. He sat at his desk, staring at a requisition form that seemed to summarize the utter futility of his command. "Wow, wow, wow, wow," Binghamton muttered, his voice trembling with a mixture of disbelief and impending migraine. "Garter belts. You are the supply officer here, Carpenter. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean." Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man whose spine was made of pure gelatin and whose loyalty was as blind as a subterranean mole, stood at attention. "Yes, sir. Snapping and shaking, sir." Binghamton groaned, massaging his temples. This was the South Pacific. There was a war on. Somewhere, great armadas were clashing, and strategic geniuses were moving pins on maps. Here, Binghamton was the primary arbiter of hosiery. "Everything is on my shoulders," he lamented. "Sir," Carpenter whispered, leaning in as if sharing a state secret, "I just got a message from a pal of mine at Comfleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection." The color drained from Binghamton's face, leaving him looking like a very stressed marshmallow. "Iron Pants? Coming here? Today? Do you realize what a mess this place is in? The sinks and the petty. Officers Club are backing up. Tokyo Rose probably knows more about my base than I do." The phone rang. Binghamton snatched it up, screaming before the person on the other end could breathe. "Who did you expect to find in my office? Tokyo Rose? The sinks are backing up. I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber." He slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of white pills. His stomach acid was currently potent enough to dissolve a Japanese zero. "Sir, please," Carpenter pleaded. "Those pills give you indigestion. Take it easy." Binghamton stared at the pills, then at the door, then back at Carpenter. A slow, wicked light flickered in his eyes, the kind of light that usually preceded a court-martial or a nervous breakdown. "Wait a minute," Binghamton whispered. "If I were sick, really sick, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to face the Admiral, someone who would inevitably screw up so badly that the Admiral would have no choice but to ship them to a penal colony in the Arctic." Carpenter blinked. "Sir, you aren't thinking of—" "Not Julian, not Ninny. McHale!" Binghamton shouted, with McHale and his cutthroats in charge. "They will run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the Admiral. Carpenter, call the medic. I'm dying. I'm fading. Carmen, tell them the captain is not well." He collapsed onto his sofa with the grace of a falling sack of flour. Carpenter, I think I'm going to faint. Oh, sir. Carpenter cried, failing to catch him. You're going to pay for that. I mean, you're going to faint. Chapter 2, Acting Commander McHale. Commander Quentin McHale was a man who viewed Navy regulations as suggestions and his PT boat, the 73, as a floating social club. When he was summoned to the hospital to find Binghamton draped in a silk robe and surrounded by suspicious-looking medical charts, he knew something was fishy. Oh, McHale, Binghamton moaned, his head propped up by 4 pillows. I'm in bad shape. Bad shape. The medics don't know what it is. I have to appoint an acting base. Commander? Well, sir, McHale said, trying to suppress a grin. I'm sure Lieutenant Carpenter will do a fine job. Carpenter? He's a boob. Binghamton snapped, momentarily forgetting he was dying. He quickly resumed his moan. No, McHale, I'm appointing you. And Parker here. He'll be your acting executive officer. Ensign Charles Parker, a man who could trip over a shadow in an empty room, beamed. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain. I know I won't, Binghamton smirked into his pillow. The moment McHale and Parker stepped into the headquarters, the pirates of the 73 boat took it as a license to print money. Chief, Parker shouted into the phone. The garter belts? Yes. We found them. Send them to the nurses' quarters. And someone tell the CBs to keep their heads. Down at the rifle range, I think we built a mess hall in the middle of the line of fire. Meanwhile, Gruber, the crew's resident hustler, saw an opportunity. The skipper said it's okay. Boys, full speed ahead. Open up the shop. Bring in the hula girls. Let's rake in the dough. Within hours, the base at Taratupa had transformed. What was once a military outpost was now a Roman orgy, complete with grass skirts, illegal stills, and a gambling ring that would make Las Vegas look like a Sunday school. It's beautiful, sir, Carpenter reported back to hospital. Taratupa is a disgrace. The Admiral is landing his plane right now. McHale is finished. Binghamton sat up, his illness vanishing like mist. Good. This is the happiest illness of my life. Let's go watch the execution. Chapter 3, The Sultan and the Scramble. The inspection was a disaster for Binghamton, mostly because McHale's luck was supernatural. Every time Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty moved toward a scandal, the crew moved it 2 inches out of sight. But the real challenge arrived when the Sultan, Kareem of Marami, and his 3 daughters were forced to make an emergency landing near the island. McHale rescued them in the 73 boat, but not before the crew nearly started an international incident. Wowie, wow, wow. Virgil whispered as the Sultan's daughters boarded. I heard that, the Sultan barked. The next man who debases the dignity of the princesses will answer to me. Sorry, Your Highness, McHale said, shoving Virgil overboard. He's just expressing a ceremonial greeting. It's a Navy custom. The Sultan was charmed by McHale, much to Binghamton's fury. Binghamton decided to throw a formal dinner for the Sultan, hoping to regain favor. Naturally, he tried to keep McHale's crew restricted to the base. But the crew had other plans. Gruber had a date with Princess Siri, and he convinced Parker to help him borrow the 73 boat for a moonlit cruise. Mr. Parker, Gruber said, blindfolding the ensign, we want you to demonstrate how to take apart a .50 caliber machine gun blindfolded. It's for our education. Oh, well, Parker blushed. If you guys are so anxious to learn, first, we disengage grip control A. While Parker was fumbling with a gun, the crew sneaked the 73 out of the slip. But things went south when the engines conked out, leaving Gruber and the princess stranded. Back at the dinner, Binghamton was getting impatient. Where are the princesses? We're ready to eat. They're dressing, sir. McHale stalled, sweating. The crew, realizing they were down one princess, did what any self-respecting sailors would do. They dressed Ensign Parker in a grass skirt and a veil. "Gentlemen," the Sultan announced, "my daughters will now dance for you." The princesses emerged, 2 beautiful girls and 1 very hairy, very nervous sister, who looked remarkably like a junior officer in the U.S. Navy. Binghamton squinted. That one has a very familiar set of knees. He lunged forward, ripping the veil off. "It's Parker. I knew it. You phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest." The Sultan stood up, outraged. "You dare touch my daughter? You dare call her a bunny?" "But, sir," Binghamton cried, "this is a man, a dim-witted ensign." The Sultan didn't care. He swept out of the room, promising to complain to the State Department, leaving Binghamton holding a handful of veil and another impending court-martial. Chapter 4, The Laughing Gas Gambit. Binghamton had finally reached his limit. He called for a fitness board to review Ensign Parker's record, determined to break him down to seaman second class. "I'm going to request a couple of cases of ketchup," Binghamton sneered. "Sir?" Carpenter asked. "Ketchup?" "Because when I'm done with Parker, there's going to be nothing left of him but hamburger." McHale knew he had to save Parker. The crew came up with a plan involving a tank of nitrous oxide, laughing gas, stolen from the dental clinic. "Once we blow this to the captain's window," McHale explained, "he'll be in Happy Land. He'll cancel the board, promote Parker, and probably give us all a week in Honolulu." They rigged the tank and waited, as Binghamton sat in his office, fuming over Parker's files. A sweet-smelling mist began to fill the room. "Carpenter," Binghamton said, his voice suddenly sounding light and airy, "why are you standing there like a statue? You look like a giant, adorable penguin." "Sir." Binghamton began to giggle, a deep belly-shaking chortle. "And Parker, Chucky Wucky, you torpedoed a garbage scow? That's hilarious. The potato peels must have looked just like a submarine. Oh, I love you, Chucky Wucky." McHale and the crew watched through the window as the captain began to dance with a mop. "It's working," McHale whispered. "Get the papers in there." But the timing was terrible. Admiral Shoemaker arrived for the fitness board just as Binghamton was trying to wear a wastebasket as a hat. "Binghamton," the Admiral roared. "What in the name of the great white fleet is going on here?" "Admiral Quinny Winnie," Binghamton chirped, trying to hug the stone-faced officer. "Look at the window. It's stuck. Isn't that a riot?" The Admiral turned to McHale. "Is he drunk?" "Hallucination, sir," McHale said solemnly. "Battle fatigue. He thinks he sees hula girls everywhere." Just then, the laughing gas wore off. Binghamton blinked, looked at the wastebasket on his head, and then at the Admiral. "Admiral, I can explain. It was a frangipani flies. They invaded the base." The Admiral sighed. "Binghamton, go back to the hospital. And as for Parker, any man who can stay sane while his commanding officer wears a trash can on his head is fit for duty. The fitness board is canceled." Chapter 5, Sidney the Alligator. Binghamton's next scheme was more subtle. He decided to mark 9 $100 bills and leave his wallet out as bait. "I'll catch them in the act of theft," he told Carpenter. Then, wham, brig time. He dropped the wallet near the crew's favorite lounging spot, but he didn't count on Sidney. Sidney was a 6-foot alligator that Parker had befriended with peanut butter sandwiches. Sidney saw the wallet, thought it looked like a very expensive snack, and promptly swallowed it. "Skipper," Parker screamed, running into McHale's shack. "Sidney ate the captain." "He what?" "Well, he ate his wallet and his ID card." Binghamton arrived, furious. "Where's my money, McHale? I know you have it." "Actually, sir," McHale said, pointing at Sidney, who was sunning himself on the dock. Sidney stole it. An alligator? You expect me to believe an alligator stole $900? The case went to a court-martial. Parker, acting as his own defense attorney, called Sidney as a witness. Your Honor, Parker argued, Sidney has had an unhappy childhood. He was confused. He thought the wallet was a sandwich. Order, the judge yelled. Binghamton, do you have any proof the crew took the money? I have the serial numbers. Binghamton shouted. Just then, Sidney let out a massive belch and coughed up the wallet right onto the judge's bench. Exhibit A, McHale announced. The judge opened the wallet. The bills were there, but they were covered in alligator bile and marked with Carpenter's serial numbers. Wait a minute, the judge said. These bills are marked. Captain, you were trying to frame your own men. No, it was a trap, a clever trap. A trap that backfired, the judge ruled. Case dismissed. And Captain, I suggest you find a new hobby. Perhaps something that doesn't involve reptiles. Chapter 6, The New Caledonia Heist. The final act of the Taratupa drama took place in New Caledonia. Binghamton had to go to a conference and, against his better judgment, had to take McHale's boat to fetch the base payroll, $62, 000 in cash. I am not entrusting this to McHale. Binghamton told Carpenter. Parker will fetch it, alone, through the shortcut. The shortcut involved Saloon Road, a gambling casino, and a racetrack. Parker, predictably, was hit over the head, and the money was swiped. Skipper, Parker sobbed when he woke up. The money's gone. All I saw was a girl's ankle. An ankle? She had a birthmark, a little brown heart on her right ankle. McHale mobilized the crew. They spent the night in Numia, lifting the tablecloths of every cafe in the city. Not a birthmark in sight. Skip, Gruber reported, exhausted. But then they spotted Binghamton and Carpenter in the city. They were on the prowl, looking for the crew to arrest them for absconding with the money. Quick, McHale yelled, into the alley. They spotted a group of men in a gray suit carrying a canvas bag. That's the payroll. A chase ensued through the narrow streets of Numia, involving a bicycle, a fruit stand, and a very confused French gendarme. The thieves took refuge in an old fort, where they tried to hide the money in an ancient, decorative cannon. McHale and the crew caught up to them, but Binghamton arrived at the same time. I've got you, Binghamton screamed. Where's the money, McHale? It's in the cannon, sir. The thieves put in the cannon. A likely story. You're all under arrest. Just then, a Japanese Zero, a stray from a distant battle, swooped low over the city. Take cover, Parker yelled. He lunged to the cannon, grabbed a match, and lit the fuse. Parker, no, that cannon doesn't work. McHale screamed. Boom! The ancient gun roared. It didn't hit the plane, but the explosion sent a cloud of paper flying into the air. Green, crisp, $100 bills rained down over Numia like confetti. It's manna from heaven, Gruber yelled, catching bills in his hat. It's the payroll. Binghamton gasped, frantically grabbing at the air. As the smoke cleared, the thieves were captured, the money was, mostly, recovered, and McHale's Navy stood victorious once again. Well, Captain, McHale said, handing Binghamton a slightly singed stack of bills. I believe that's $62,000. Give or take a few that the wind caught. Binghamton looked at the money, then at the charred cannon, and then at McHale's smiling face. Why me? He whispered to Sky. Why is it always me? Back on Taratupa, life returned to normal. The sinks were still backed up, the garter belts were finally delivered, and Sidney the alligator was waiting on the dock for his next peanut butter sandwich. McHale leaned back in his chair on the 73, lighting a cigar. You know, Parker, for a pirate, You make a pretty good acting commander. Thanks, Skip. Parker beamed. Do you think the captain will ever forgive us? In the distance, the sound of Binghamton's voice carried over the water, screaming something about a court-martial and a long-handled mop. I'd say we got about 3 days of peace, McHale grinned. Better make the most of it. The end. The Pirates of Taratupa, A Tale of Mutiny and Mischief. Chapter 1, The Tactical Tummy Ache. The South Pacific sun beat down on the island of Taratupa with a kind of relentless heat that turned a man's brain into lukewarm oatmeal. It was a place of tropical beauty, jagged coral, and the most concentrated collection of naval incompetence in the history of the United States Navy. In the center of this chaos sat Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, affectionately and accurately known by his subordinates as Old Lead Bottom. At this particular moment, Binghamton was not contemplating the war against the Japanese. He was, instead, contemplating garter belts. Wow, 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 Binghamton shouted, slamming his hand onto a mahogany desk that had seen better days. Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. Shake a leg. You know what I mean. Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man whose spine seemed to be made of wet cardboard whenever the captain raised his voice, nodded frantically. Sir, yes, sir. But the Sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up, and I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Binghamton shrieked. He popped a pill for his indigestion. His stomach acid, currently powerful enough to dissolve a hole through the hull of a destroyer. My stomach acid could start a jeep. Carpenter, do you realize what a mess this place is in? The telephone rang, a shrill sound that made Binghamton jump 3 inches off his seat. Yes, this is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect? Tokyo rose. He listened for a moment, and his face transitioned from an angry red to a pale, sickly green. What, Admiral, Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today? On a sneak inspection? Binghamton hung up, his hands trembling. Rafferty was a legend of discipline, a man who ate sailors for breakfast and spit out brass buttons. If he saw the state of Taratupa, Binghamton would be lucky to spend the rest of the war scrubbing decks in the Aleutians. I'm sick, Carpenter, Binghamton whispered, his eyes widening with sudden devious spark. Terribly sick. If I'm sick, I can appoint an acting base commander to face the admiral, and I know just the man, someone I want to see destroyed, someone whose career I want to watch go up in smoke right in front of the admiral's cold, dead eyes. Not Julian, not Ninny, Carpenter guessed. McHale, Binghamton roared with glee, with Quinn McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge. They'll run wild. They'll turn this base into a circus, and Rafferty will have them all court-martialed by sunset. Binghamton collapsed onto a nearby cot, faking a faint that would have made a Victorian lady proud. Call the medic. I'm paying. Oh, Carpenter, I'm really going to pay. Chapter 2, Commander Snookums and the Sultan's Sword. While Binghamton was busy dying in the infirmary, the crew of the PT-73 was engaged in their favorite pastime, making money and avoiding work. Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale was a saltwater skipper through and through, a man who treated naval regulations as mere suggestions. When the news hit that McHale was now the acting base commander, the island underwent a transformation. Within 2 hours, the business of war became the business of leisure. Skip, you can't be serious, McHale said, staring at his new desk. I'm a boat skipper. I'm no good behind a desk. It's an order, McHale. Binghamton groaned from his deathbed, while secretly sipping a cold lemonade when no one was looking, and I'm appointing your Ensign Parker as your executive officer. Ensign Charles Parker, a man who could trip over a flat surface, stood at attention, his hat crooked. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain. Binghamton grinned. I know I won't. The chaos began immediately, with the captain incapacitated. A diplomatic crisis arrived in the form of the Sultan of Marami and his 3 beautiful daughters. The Sultan was a man of immense pride and even more immense wealth, and his visit was supposed to be a feather in the cap for Terra Tupa. Mikhail, trying to balance the duties of a base commander while keeping his crew from selling the bases, Fuel, found himself hosting a royal dinner. However, his crew, specifically Gruber and Virgil, had other plans. They had invited some local hula dancers to liven up the atmosphere. The party is over, Mikhail hissed as he burst into the Petty Officers Club, only to find a full-blown luau in progress. Iron Pants Rafferty is on his way here for an inspection. If he sees these girls, we're all dead. But Skip, Gruber pleaded, the girls have nowhere to go. Put them in the air raid shelter, Mikhail ordered. Quick, move it. Just as the hula dancers were tucked away, the Admiral's jeep screeched to a halt. Admiral Rafferty stepped out, his eyes like 2 pieces of flint. Mikhail, where's Binghamton? In the hospital, sir. Hallucinations. Combat fatigue. Mikhail lied through his teeth. Binghamton, however, wasn't staying down. He had snuck out of the hospital in a seaman's uniform, determined to catch Mikhail in the act. He burst into the scene, pointing wildly at the air raid shelter. Admiral, you have to see the shelter. There are girls in there. Hula girls. Mikhail is running in. Orgy. The Admiral looked at the shelter. The door opened. Out stepped Ensign Parker, carrying a stack of emergency rations, which were actually jars of peanut butter. Girls, Captain? Rafferty asked, his voice low and dangerous. I see a bumbling ensign. I think Mikhail is right. You've lost your mind. Binghamton, back to the hospital. Now! Binghamton was dragged away, screaming about grass skirts, while Mikhail wiped the sweat from his brow. Chapter 3, The Chemistry of Laughter. A week later, the threat of a fitness board loomed over Ensign Parker. Binghamton, having recovered from his hallucinations, was determined to break Parker down to seaman second class. The man is an imbecile, Binghamton shouted at the crew. He torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a midget sub-camouflage of potato peels. The crew knew they had to save their favorite, if clumsy, officer. We need to jolly him up, Mikhail suggested. If Leadbottom is in a good mood, he might cancel the hearing. How are we going to do that, Skip? Willie asked. Even an undertaker couldn't put a smile on his face. Laughing gas, Mikhail whispered. Compliments of the base dentist. The plan was simple. They would lure Binghamton to his office and blast him with a tank of nitrous oxide. Then, while he was giggling his head off, they'd get him to sign the cancellation papers. The operation was a symphony of absurdity. As the gas filled the room, Binghamton's frown began to twitch. Within minutes, the terrifying captain was doubling over, pointing at Parker's face. Chucky Wucky. Binghamton howled with laughter. You torpedoed a garbage scow. Oh, that's a riot. The potato peels. I love it. Sir, will you sign this? Parker asked, holding out the papers. Sign it? I'll frame it. Binghamton giggled. But as the gas wore off, the captain's rage returned with vengeance. He realized he'd been duped. He chased Mikhail and Parker out of the office with a heavy wrench, screaming about frangipani flies and sabotage. The chaos was only interrupted by the arrival of the actual fitness board, led by Admiral Shoemaker. But the timing was perfect. An actual air raid siren went off. Amidst the confusion, Parker, still slightly high on the lingering gas, manned a .50 caliber machine gun and, while laughing like a maniac, managed to accidentally shoot down a Japanese Zero that was wandering too close. Heroic, Shoemaker declared, pinning a medal on a confused Parker, standing in the face of death with a laugh on his lips. Binghamton, how could you want to discharge such a man? Binghamton, unable to explain the laughing gas without looking like a fool, simply stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why me? Why is it always me?" Chapter 4, The Ghost of Point 13. Binghamton's next plot involved a bit of psychological warfare. He decided to transfer the 73 crew to a legendary Jinx boat, the PT-13. According to naval legend, the 13 was haunted, having lost 3 crews to mysterious explosions. "I'm sending you up to conflict as couriers," Binghamton told McHale, hiding a smirk. On the 13 boat. The crew was terrified. Even McHale felt a chill. They decided they had to outghost the captain. That night, as Binghamton sat in his shack, gloating over his genius, the lights began to flicker. A low, moaning sound echoed through the jungle. "Ho, ho, ho," a voice boomed. "Who's there?" Binghamton squeaked. "We are the ghosts of PT-13. A figure in a glowing white sheet appeared in the window. It looked suspiciously like Gruber standing on Parker's shoulders. "We've come for you, Wally. You sent us to the grave." "McHale, I know it's you," Binghamton yelled, though his teeth were chattering. Suddenly, Admiral Rafferty, actually a cleverly disguised Virgil, appeared, floating, thanks to some well-hidden wires. "Binghamton, the transfers, they are a sin. Give them back to the living." Binghamton, terrified by the supernatural visitation, handed over the transfer papers through the window. "Take them. Just leave me alone." The next morning, when McHale showed up with the papers, Binghamton tried to claim he'd been robbed. But the crew simply smiled. "Gosh, Captain, sounds like you had another one of those hallucinations. Maybe we should call the Admiral back." Binghamton shut up. Chapter 5, The $62,000 Peril. The ultimate test of the PT-73's luck came during a trip to New Caledonia. Binghamton, in a rare moment of trust, which was actually a setup, ordered Parker to pick up the base payroll, $62, 000 in small unmarked bills. "Saloon Road, Parker," Binghamton had instructed. "Take the shortcut past the gambling casino and the racetrack." Binghamton was certain Parker would be robbed, giving him the perfect excuse to court-martial the entire crew for gross negligence. True to form, Parker was distracted by a girl's ankle. Specifically, a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her right ankle. He was knocked unconscious, and the money vanished. $62,000. McHale gasped when he found a weeping Parker. "Chuck, Lead Bottom is going to have us all in front of a firing squad." The crew turned into detectives. They scoured the bars and bistros of New Caledonia, looking for the girl with the heart-shaped ankle. The search involved a lot of lifting of tablecloths and very angry French waiters. "I found her, Skip," Gruber shouted, pointing to a slender brunette ducking into a shady-looking warehouse. The chase was on. It led through a series of narrow alleys and ended at a local carnival. The thieves, realizing they were being followed, stashed the money bag in an old, ornamental cannon that served as a centerpiece for the carnival. "Give it up," McHale shouted, cornering the crooks. Suddenly, Binghamton and the French police arrived. "I've got you, McHale. Where's the payroll? You stole it, didn't you?" "We didn't steal it, Captain. It's in the cannon." McHale pointed. "The cannon? Ridiculous." Binghamton sneered. He walked up to the cannon, leaning over the barrel to inspect it. At that exact moment, a stray spark from a nearby vendor's fire hit the cannon's old fuse. Boom! The cannon roared. It wasn't a projectile that hit Binghamton. However, it was a blizzard of green paper. $62,000 rained down upon the street, covering the captain from head to toe. Binghamton sat on the ground, $100 bill stuck to his singed eyebrows. "Manna from heaven, Captain." McHale laughed, grabbing a handful of cash. "Every cent is here, sir." Parker cheered, dancing around. 42,000, 42,001. Binghamton looked at the money. He looked at McHale. He looked at the French police, who were busy pocketing evidence. McHale, Binghamton whispered, his voice cracking. I want a transfer. Not for you. For me. To a quiet desk in the Pentagon. Without any cannons. Without any pirates. And especially, without any ensigns. McHale grinned, leaning back against the PT-73. Now, Captain, you know you'd miss us. Who else would keep your stomach acid churning? As the sun set over the Pacific, the crew of the 73 headed back to their boat, richer in spirit, and perhaps a few $100s they forgot to count, ready for another day of the best war they ever had. The Pirates of Taratupa. A novel of naval misadventure. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. The South Pacific sun beat down on the island of Taratupa with the kind of oppressive heat that could melt the resolve of even the most dedicated sailor. But Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, the base commander, didn't have resolve. He had an ulcer, and that ulcer was currently screaming. Binghamton stood in his office, his face a shade of purple usually reserved for tropical fruit. Before him stood the supply officer, a man who looked like he had been born in a filing cabinet and raised on ink. Wow, 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 wow. Binghamton barked, pacing the floor so aggressively that his floorboards groaned in sympathy. Garter belts. You are the supply officer here, man. If the nurses need garter belts. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. The supply officer blinked, looking confused. Binghamton ignored him. He looked out the window toward the nearby island where Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale and his crew, the 7-3 gang, were likely currently roasting a stolen pig or running a floating casino. Everything is on my shoulders, Binghamton moaned, clutching his midsection. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. And now this. He dropped a message onto his desk as if it were a live grenade. Admiral Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. Iron Pants Rafferty, do you realize what a mess this place is in? If he sees McHale's cutthroats running wild. I'm finished. My career will be flatter than a squash jellyfish. His sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Carpenter, hovered nearby, looking concerned. Sir, please, take it easy on those pills. You know how they give you indigestion. I don't care. Binghamton roared. In fact, I hope I get sick. If I were sick, I could appoint an acting base commander to face the admiral while I hide in the infirmary. A slow, devious smile spread across Binghamton's face. It was the look of a man who had just found a way to commit professional suicide and blame someone else. Wait a minute. If I'm sick, I can appoint McHale as acting base commander. He'll run this place into the ground right in front of the admiral. They'll destroy themselves. It's brilliant. Chapter 2, The Happy Illness. By the time McHale arrived at the hospital, Binghamton was putting on a performance that would have made a Shakespearean actor weep. He was draped across a bed, groaning like a rusty hinge. Oh, McHale, I'm in bad shape. Binghamton wheezed. The doctors, they don't know what it is. I'm appointing you acting base commander. McHale, a rugged man with a permanent, I know where the best room is, look on his face, squinted. Me, Captain? You must be kidding. I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk. And I'm appointing Ensign Parker here as your executive officer, Binghamton added, pointing to bumbling, wide-eyed youth standing behind McHale. Parker's face lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Acting executive officer. You'll never regret this, Captain. Binghamton closed his eyes, hiding the gleam of malicious joy. I know I won't. Now, out! Go take command. As soon as the door clicked shut, McHale sighed. Parker, we're in trouble. Binghamton is up to something. Trouble? Skipper? We got a base to run. Think of the paperwork. The logistics. The garter belts. The next few hours were a whirlwind of administrative disaster. McHale found himself staring at a telephone that wouldn't stop ringing. The sinks were still backed up. The garter belts had finally arrived, looking suspiciously like slingshots. And the Seabees were accidentally building an air raid shelter in the middle of a rifle range. "Parker," McHale shouted over the din, "where are the boys?" "They're throwing a little shindig to celebrate your promotion." "Skipper, I told them full speed ahead." "You told them what?" McHale's eyes widened. "Iron Pants Rafferty is on his way, if he sees a hula party on the base. We're all going to be scrubbing decks in the Arctic." Chapter 3: Hula Girls and Bomb Shelters. The sound of ukuleles and laughter echoed through the trees. The crew of the PT-73 had turned the base into a tropical paradise, complete with grass skirts and questionable punch. "The Admiral is landing," Christie yelled, running from the radar hut. "Move it, boys," McHale commanded. "Get these girls into the air raid shelter. Hide the ukuleles. Parker, look official." Parker tried to look official by accidentally putting on a native lei over his uniform. Just as the last grass skirt vanished into the concrete bunker, a jeep screeched to a halt. Out stepped Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty, a man whose face looked like it had been carved out of a very angry rock. "At ease," Rafferty growled. "Where's Captain Binghamton?" "In the hospital, sir," McHale said, saluting with the gravity of a man facing a firing squad. "Acting Base Commander McHale at your service." Rafferty looked McHale up and down. He then looked at Parker. "And what is that around your neck, ensign?" Parker looked down at the bright pink flowers. "Oh, it's an old native custom, sir, to welcome the sea gods." "Nonsense," Rafferty snapped. "Take me to the captain. Then I want a full inspection." They marched to the hospital, where Binghamton was waiting like a spider in a web. As soon as the Admiral entered, Binghamton began his hallucination routine. "Admiral, you have to go to the air raid shelter," Binghamton cried. "McHale has hula girls hidden in there. Right now. It's disgraceful." Rafferty frowned. "Hula girls? In a combat zone? McHale, is this true?" McHale looked at the Admiral with pure, feigned innocence. "Sir, the captain has been under a lot of strain. He's seeing things. Hallucinations." "I am not," Binghamton shrieked. "I saw them. Elroy, tell him." Carpenter nodded frantically. "Oh, he's right, sir. A regular Roman orgy." Rafferty looked at the calm, professional-looking McHale, and then at the screaming, manic Binghamton, who was currently trying to climb out of bed in his underwear. "Binghamton, get back in bed," Rafferty ordered. "McHale, let's proceed with the inspection. We'll start with the laundry." "The laundry?" Binghamton yelled. "No, the shelter. Look in the shelter." But the pirates of the 73 were faster. By the time the Admiral reached the air raid shelter, the girls had been funneled through the back and into the laundry, and then out of the laundry and back into the bushes. Every time Binghamton pointed at a girl, she vanished. "There, in the closet," Binghamton screamed, throwing open his hospital closet door. Out stepped a nurse, perfectly in uniform, holding a thermometer. "Captain, please," the nurse said. "It's time for your sedative." Binghamton collapsed into his chair. He had been outplayed by a man who didn't even wear socks with his shoes. Chapter 4: The Sultan of Marami. Peace lasted exactly 48 hours on Teratupa. It was broken by a call from the Pentagon. "A sultan?" Binghamton asked, his voice trembling with excitement. "The Sultan of Marami is coming here with his 3 daughters, the princesses." "The Admiral wants 100% effort," Carpenter said, polishing Binghamton's medals. "It's a diplomatic mission, sir. If we impress the Sultan, we secure the island of Marami for the Navy." Binghamton's eyes gleamed. "I'll show them what a real commander looks like. I'll send McHale and his riffraff on a fake recon. Mission to Aku Aku, get them off the base. But the universe had other plans. The Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and was forced down near the island of Samura, exactly, where McHale's PT-73 was patrolling. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, helping the Sultan aboard the greasy, oil-slick deck of the torpedo boat. The Sultan was a magnificent man in flowing robes. Behind him stood 3 women veiled in silk. "I am Kareem. These men, are they to be trusted with my priceless cargo?" "Wowie, wow, wow," Parker exclaimed, staring at the princesses. The Sultan stiffened. "What did he say?" McHale stepping quickly. It's a ceremonial greeting, Your Highness. In our country, it means the moon is beautiful in your eyes." "Wowie, wow, wow," the Sultan repeated, nodding. "Very well. Proceed." By the time the boat reached the main base, the Sultan was so thrilled by the ride that he insisted McHale be the guest of honor at the welcome dinner. Binghamton was forced to grit his teeth and smile, while McHale sat next to royalty. However, the night took a turn for the surreal. One of the princesses, Siri, had taken a liking to Parker's bumbling charm. They had sneaked away for a boat ride, leaving a replacement in her place, a sailor in a veil. Binghamton, convinced that McHale was hiding a phony Balinese bunny among the princesses to sabotage the dinner, decided to take action. He approached the youngest princess and grabbed her veil. "I've got you, you phony," Binghamton yelled, pulling. The veil came away to reveal the Sultan's actual daughter. "Captain," the Sultan roared, standing up and drawing a ceremonial sword. "You have debased the dignity of my house. You are a stupid infidel." I thought she was an ensign." Binghamton stammered, backing away. "You thought my daughter was a sailor?" The Sultan's face turned a dangerous shade of red. "I shall report this to Washington. My princesses shall dance no more for you." As the Sultan marched away, Binghamton fell into a punch bowl. McHale leaned over him, shaking his head. "Tough luck, Captain. Maybe you should have used the wowie wow wow greeting." Chapter 5, The Laughing Gas Incident. "I'm bringing the hammer down," Binghamton declared a week later. "Parker's fitness board is tomorrow. I'm going to have him broken to seaman second class. So fast his head will spin." The crew of the 73 sat in their shack, looking gloomy. "We can't let Mr. Parker get railroaded," Gruber said. "He's a bumber, but he's our bumber." "We need to get the captain in a good mood," McHale mused. "But how do you make a man laugh who has a heart made of coal flint?" "Laughing gas," Willie suggested. "The dentist's office just got a fresh tank of nitrous oxide." The plan was simple. They would sneak the gas into the captain's office via the ventilation system just before the fitness board convened. The next morning, Binghamton sat at his desk, ready to destroy Parker's career. Suddenly, a sweet metallic smell filled the room. "Now, Ensign Parker," Binghamton began, "regarding the incident where you torpedoed the garbage scow." He paused. A giggle escaped his lips. The garbage scow. It had potato peels on it. Binghamton started to laugh. It wasn't a normal laugh. It was a high-pitched, hysterical cackle. "And you thought it was a submarine. Oh, Parker, you're a riot. You're a scream." "Sir," Parker asked, blinking. "I love you, Parker. You're my Chucky-Wucky." Binghamton jumped up and tried to hug him. "Let's cancel the fitness board. Let's throw a party. Let's go swimming with the nurses." Just then, the air raid sirens began to wail. A real Japanese scouting plane was overhead. "Invaders!" Binghamton cheered, still high on the gas. "Look at the pretty planes. They look like flies. Frangipani flies. Geronimo." He ran out into the courtyard, waving a wrench and blowing kisses at the sky. Admiral Shoemaker, who had arrived to oversee the board, watched in horror as the base commander danced a jig during a combat alert. "Binghamton, what is the meaning of this?" Shoemaker yelled. "Hi, Showy-Wowy." Binghamton chirped, pinching the Admiral's cheek. "You're a barrel of fun." While Binghamton was busy assaulting the Admiral with affection, Parker accidentally tripped over a machine gun mount. The gun went off, firing a wild burst into the sky. By some miracle of physics and luck, the bullet struck the engine of the enemy plane. It spiraled down and crashed into the lagoon. "He did it!" Shoemaker gasped. Ensign Parker stood his ground and laughed in the face of death. "He's a hero." "Of course he is." Binghamton laughed, collapsing onto a pile of sandbags. "He's my best friend. Doot, doot." By the time the gas wore off, Parker had been awarded a commendation for bravery, and Binghamton had a headache that lasted for 3 days and an official reprimand for unprofessional conduct with superior officer. Chapter 6. The New Caledonia Payroll. The final straw came when the base payroll went missing. $62,000. Binghamton screamed, and I sent Parker to pick it up. I was a fool. I was a madman. The crew had been in New Caledonia for a brief leave. Parker, while carrying the payroll bag, had been distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle and had promptly been mugged by a group of local thugs. "We have to find that money, Skip," Parker sobbed. "Binghamton will have me in the brig until the year 2000. The crew spent the next 12 hours scouring the back alleys of New Caledonia. They weren't looking for the money. They were looking for an ankle. "I found her," Gruber yelled, pointing to a cafe. "The girl with the heart." But the girl wasn't a thief. She was a girlfriend of a local gangster who had stashed the payroll bag inside an old, decorative cannon in the town square, intending to retrieve it after the heat died down. Binghamton and the local police arrived just as McHale's crew reached the cannon. "Aha!" Binghamton cried. "Caught you red-handed. You're trying to steal the cannon now." "Captain, the money is inside," McHale shouted. "Likely story. Arrest them." In confusion, Parker accidentally bumped into the cannon. It was an antique, but it was still loaded with a ceremonial powder charge. The impact triggered the fuse. Boom! The cannon roared, but instead of a cannonball, a massive cloud of green paper exploded into the air. $62,000 rained down on the town square like confetti. Binghamton stood frozen as a $100 bill drifted down and landed on his nose. "My money," he whispered. "It's manna from heaven." "Actually, sir, it's the payroll from the cannon," McHale said, casually catching a stack of 20s. "I told you Parker was a crack shot." Epilogue: The Eternal Struggle. Back on Teratupa, the dust had finally settled. McHale and his men were back at their island. The ukuleles were playing and a pig was roasting. In his office, Captain Binghamton sat staring at his reflection in a trophy. He looked at his singed eyebrows, his graying hair, and the stack of garter belt requisitions on his desk. "Sir," Carpenter whispered, "the petty officers' club sinks are backing up again." Binghamton didn't scream. He didn't pace. He simply reached into his drawer, took out a bottle of indigestion pills, and swallowed 3. "McHale," he whispered to the empty room. "One of these days, McHale. One of these days." And out on the lagoon, the PT-73 roared to life, its wake cutting a white line across the blue water, heading toward another adventure that would undoubtedly make the captain's blood boil once again. The Pirates of Teratupa, the untold chronicles of the Point 73. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Captain's Gastric Distress. The sun over the Pacific island of Teratupa didn't just shine. It leaned against you like a sweaty, unwelcome relative. It was the kind of heat that turned a starched uniform into a wet rag in under 3 minutes. And for Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, affectionately known by his men as Old Lee Bottom, the heat was the least of his problems. Binghamton sat behind his desk, his face a shade of crimson that suggested either a looming stroke or a very specific type of tropical fever. He was currently staring at a supply manifest that made no sense in the context of a global conflict. Wow! Binghamton whispered to the empty room. Wow, wow, wow. Garter belts. He looked up at his supply officer, who was vibrating with the kind of nervous energy usually reserved for small dogs during a thunderstorm. You are the supply officer here, are you not? If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. You shake a leg. I mean, you know what I mean. We are fighting a war, and I am being buried in requests for hosiery support. Everything, it seemed, was on Binghamton's shoulders. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club were backing up with a smell that could peel paint. Tokyo Rose was probably making fun of him on the radio. And then the ultimate disaster struck in the form of a message from the Admiral's office. Admiral Rafferty. Binghamton choked out, clutching his stomach. Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. The captain's stomach acid, which he frequently claimed could start a diesel engine, began to churn. Rafferty was a man who considered a loose button on a uniform to be a court-martial offense. Taratupa, by contrast, was a sprawling mess of unauthorized poker games, home to still moonshine, and a PT boat crew that treated the Navy regulations as a book of polite suggestions. Sir, take it easy on those pills, Lieutenant Carpenter urged, watching the captain down a handful of white tablets. You know they give you indigestion. I don't care, Binghamton wailed. If I get sick enough, I can appoint an acting base commander. Let someone else face the Iron Pants. Let someone else. Explain why the sinks smell like a dead whale's locker. A slow, devious smile spread across the captain's face, a look that usually preceded a disaster for everyone. Else, wait a minute. If I was sick, I could appoint. McHale. The idea was brilliant in its malice. With Commander Quentin McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge, they would surely run wild. They would fend the Admiral, break every rule in the book, and destroy themselves within the hour. Binghamton would be safely tucked in a hospital bed, watching the fireworks from a distance. I do look sort of sick, don't I, Carpenter? Terribly sick, sir, Carpenter agreed, playing along. I'll call the medic. Carmen, hurry. The captain is paying. I mean, he's in pain. Chapter 2. The Acting Base Commander. Commander McHale arrived at the captain's quarters to find Binghamton sprawled on a cot, looking like a man who had seen a ghost, or perhaps just his own reflection after a long night. Oh, hi, Captain, McHale said, his voice brimming with a casualness that always made Binghamton's blood pressure spike. What's wrong, sir? I'm in bad shape, McHale, Binghamton moaned, his voice a faint rasp. The medics, they don't know what it is. I have to appoint an acting base commander, someone I can trust. McHale nodded solemnly. I understand, sir. Rest assured, my boys and I will give Lieutenant Carpenter all the help he... No, 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 Binghamton barked, briefly forgetting to be sick. Carpenter is a boob. I'm appointing you, McHale. You're in charge. McHale blinked. Me? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk. I'd probably accidentally declare war on a neutral island just try and find the stapler. That's an order, McHale. Go to my office. Take command this minute. And so, the unthinkable happened. The inmates were given the keys to the asylum. Within 30 minutes of McHale taking the desk, the office of the base commander looked less like a military headquarters and more like a chaotic flea market. Executive Officer Parker here. Ensign Parker shouted into the phone, his hat tilted at an angle that defied the laws of physics. What? The sinks? Oh! Tell the petty officers to use the ocean. We've found the garter belts. Yes, ma'am, they're on the way. Meanwhile, the crew of the PT, 73, Gruber, Virgil, and the rest saw the change in management as a divine mandate for profit. The skip said full speed ahead. Gruber announced to the men, He wants action. We're opening shop. Get the girls, get the booze, get the lawnmower. We're throwing the wingding of the century. Chapter 3, The Sultan and the Royal Ruse. Just as McHale was settling into the idea that base command might involve more paperwork and less fun than he'd anticipated, the stakes were raised. It wasn't just an admiral visiting. It was the Sultan of Marami and his 3 princesses. The Sultan's plane had developed engine trouble near the island of Samura. Binghamton, still recovering in the hospital, saw another opportunity to bury McHale. He sent the PT-73 to rescue them, hoping the crew's lack of decorum would cause an international incident. McHale, however, was a master of improvised diplomacy. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, bowing as the Sultan stepped onto the deck of the PT-73. "I am Commander McHale. We are here to serve you." The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense cargo, looked around skeptically. "Are these men to be trusted with my most valuable possessions?" "Wow, wow, wow," Ensign Parker whispered as the princesses stepped into view. "Like a chicken." The Sultan's brow furrowed. What did he say? "It's a ceremonial greeting, Your Highness." McHale lied smoothly, stepping on Parker's foot. "In our country, it signifies the utmost respect. It means, may your kingdom be as resilient as the noble fowl." "I see," the Sultan said, pacified. "Very well, I wish to handle this craft. It seems most amusing." Disaster nearly struck when the Sultan took the wheel and headed straight for a coral reef. But McHale's quick thinking saved the day. The Sultan was so impressed that he insisted on a grand dinner back at the base. This posed a problem for Binghamton, who had intended to keep McHale far away from the Sultan. But the Sultan wouldn't have it. He wanted his friend McHale there. The night of the dinner was a comedy of errors. Binghamton, convinced that McHale was hiding hula girls in the air raid shelter to entertain the Sultan, an activity strictly forbidden by the Navy, went on a frantic search. In his desperation, he managed to get himself trapped in a series of disguises, eventually ending up in a closet wearing a seaman's uniform. While Ensign Parker, in a moment of sheer desperation to hide the crew's actual unauthorized party, disguised himself as a 4th princess. "That's a very muscular princess," Binghamton noted, squinting through the closet door. "She's the athletic one, sir," McHale explained, sweat pouring down his face. "She does a lot of shot putting." Chapter 4, Laughing Gas and the Fitness Board. Binghamton had finally had enough. The Sultan incident had somehow made McHale look good, and the captain's blood pressure was reaching critical levels. He decided to strike at the weakest link, Ensign Parker. "I'm requesting a fitness board," Binghamton announced, a predatory glint in his eye. "Parker is a disgrace. He torpedoed a garbage scow. He shot down a target plane during a drill. I'm going to have him broken down to Seaman 2nd class, so fast his head will spin." The crew was devastated. Parker was a klutz, but he was their klutz. They needed a plan. "What about the laughing gas?" McHale suggested, recalling his recent trip to the dentist. "Laughing gas, Skip?" Gruber asked. "You mean nitrous oxide?" "Exactly. If Binghamton is in a good mood, he might cancel the board. If he's in a really good mood, he might promote Parker to admiral." The plan was executed with military precision, or at least the PT-73 version of it. They piped the gas to the window of Binghamton's office while he was reviewing Parker's dismal record. "July 16th, Binghamton began, his voice suddenly sounding light and airy. "During gunnery drill, he shot down a target. Ha! Ha!" Binghamton began to giggle. The giggle turned into a roar. "A garbage scow." He thought it was a nip sub camouflage with potato peels. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Chucky Wucky. Come here, you little potato peel." The fitness board arrived to find the base commander dancing on his desk. calling everyone bingy wingy, and try and put a medal on a stray cat. The captain seems spirited, Admiral Shoemaker noted, raising an eyebrow. Just then, a real air raid siren blared. Parker, still high on the residual fumes and trying to be helpful, stumbled out to a machine gun mount. In a haze of nitrous-induced euphoria, he closed his eyes and pulled the trigger. Bam. A Japanese Zero, flying low and fast, flew right into his line of fire and disintegrated. Magnificent, Shoemaker shouted. The lad stood laughing in the face of death. He's a combat hero. Binghamton, coming down from his high, could only watch in horror as Parker was hailed as a legend. "Why me?" he whispered. "Why is it always me?" Chapter 5, Sidney the Alligator. Life on Terratupa settled back into its usual rhythm of petty crime and island lounging until the crew acquired a new member, Sidney. Sidney was an alligator. He was also, according to Parker, a gourmet. "He loves my mother's peanut butter sandwiches." Skip, Parker explained as the 6-foot reptile sunned itself on the dock. "He's a friendly alligator." "Friendly?" McHale asked. "He looks like he's calculating the nutritional value of my left leg." But Sidney proved his worth when Binghamton tried to frame the crew for the theft of $900 from his wallet. The captain had marked the bills and, accidentally, dropped his wallet where the crew would find it. Sidney, however, found it first. The alligator didn't just find the wallet, he swallowed it. The ensuing court-martial was a masterpiece of the absurd. Parker, acting as his own defense attorney, called Sidney to the stand. "I object!" Binghamton screamed. "You can't call an alligator as a witness." "I'm not calling him a witness, sir," Parker said. "I'm calling him evidence." "Sidney, open up." After a tense moment and a well-placed peanut butter sandwich, Sidney coughed up the wallet. It was covered in alligator bile. But the marked bills were still there, along with Binghamton's ID card. "It was a trap," McHale shouted. "The captain tried to frame us." The judge advocate looked at the bile-soaked money, and then at Binghamton, who was currently trying to climb a pole to get away from Sidney. "Case dismissed," the judge ruled. "And, Captain, do something about your reptilian obsession." Chapter 6, The Jinx of PT-13. Binghamton's next plot was psychological. He discovered an old report stating that the PT-73 had actually been commissioned as a PT-13A, boat cursed with bad luck. "You're on a jinx ship, McHale," Binghamton gloated, having changed the numbers on the hull overnight. The first crew drowned. The second crew exploded. It's only a matter of time for you. The crew, normally skeptical, was surprisingly superstitious. "Friday the 13th, Virgil whispered. "And the boat's number is 13. We're doomed." McHale knew he had to break the spell. He decided to play Binghamton at his own game. That night, the crew rigged the boat with pulleys, speakers, and glowing phosphorus. When Binghamton and Carpenter came to gloat, the boat began to act haunted. The engines started by themselves. Glowing figures appeared on the deck. "I am the ghost of PT-13, a voice boomed from the speakers, which sounded suspiciously like Gruber, through a megaphone, "and I have come to the man who changed the numbers." Binghamton, who was not a brave man at the best of times, fled into the night, screaming about spectral pirates. By the next morning, the hull was painted back to 73, and the jinx was forgotten. Chapter 7, The New Caledonia Payroll Heist. The final act of the Terratupa Chronicles took place in New Caledonia. Binghamton, in a rare moment of trust, ordered McHale's crew to pick up the base payroll, $62, 000 in small, unmarked bills. Take the shortcut. Binghamton had instructed Parker over the radio. Past the gambling casino, just before the racetrack. It was, of course, a setup. Binghamton hoped they would be tempted to steal it. Parker, however, didn't steal it. He was genuinely mugged. "I saw a girl's ankle skip," Parker sobbed after waking up in an alley. She had a heart-shaped birthmark on her right ankle. And then everything went black. The crew went on a frantic search through the streets of Numia. They checked every table at the cafes, peered under every skirt, leading to several slaps and one brief chase by a French policeman, and finally tracked the thieves to an abandoned warehouse. The thieves were a group of local gangsters who had stashed the money inside an old, vintage cannon. "We'll never get out." Virgil cried as the gangsters closed in. "Binghamton is right behind us." Just then, a Japanese Zero, a stray from a distant battle, spotted the group and began a strafing run. The gangsters fled, but the PT-73 crew stood their ground. "The cannon!" McHale shouted. "Light the fuse, Parker." "But Skip, it's an antique. It doesn't work." "Light it anyway." Parker struck a match. The cannon roared, not with a ball, but with a force of $62,000. A literal cloud of money exploded into the air, raining down on the quay just as Binghamton arrived in his Jeep. "What is this?" Binghamton gasped as a $20 bill hit him in the eye. "Manna from heaven?" "No, sir," McHale said, casually catching a $100 bill. "It's the payroll. We were just airing it out. It got a bit damp." Binghamton looked at the money, then at McHale, then at the smoking cannon. 42,365. Binghamton began to count, his shoulders slumping. 42,366. As the sun set over the Pacific, the PT-73 headed back toward Teratupa. They had no medals, their uniforms were torn, and they were probably going to be in trouble for something by tomorrow morning. But as McHale looked at his crew, his pirates, he knew that as long as they had each other, a fast boat, and a steady supply of peanut butter for the alligator, they were the richest men in the Navy. "Hey, Skip," Parker shouted from the bow. "I think I see a black cat on the horizon." McHale sighed and leaned back against the rail. "Full speed ahead, Parker. Full speed ahead." Epilogue, the fallback note. The Pirates of Teratupa. A tale of Lead Bottom and the PT-73. Chapter 1. The acidic rain of Iron Pants Rafferty. The South Pacific sun was not merely a celestial body. On the island of Teratupa, it was a personal enemy. It beat down with a humid intensity that turned the air into a thick soup of diesel fumes, salt spray, and the faint, sweet scent of rotting coconuts. In the center of this tropical pressure cooker sat the headquarters of Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, a man whose stomach acid was currently volatile enough to power a light tank. "Wow! Wow! Wow! Wow!" Binghamton muttered, staring at a requisition form as if it were a death warrant. He looked up at his adjutant, the perpetually nervous Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. "Garter belts, Carpenter. The nurses need garter belts. And you, as a supply officer, are standing there looking like a confused penguin instead of snapping to it." "I'm shaking a leg, sir. Truly," Carpenter stammered. "Don't shake it at me. Move it." Binghamton barked. He rubbed his temples. "Everything is on my shoulders. The war, the logistics, the plumbing, and the petty officers' club. And now this." He pointed to a message on his desk. His face transitioned from a pale executive white to a shade of crimson usually reserved for emergency flares. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty. He's coming. A sneak inspection. Today. "Oh, no," Carpenter gasped. "Not Iron Pants. He's the toughest nut in the Navy." "He's more than a nut, Carpenter. He's a sledgehammer," Binghamton groaned, clutching his stomach. "And look at this place. It's a mess. The sinks are backing up. The men are half-dressed. And then there's McHale, that pirate and his band of cutthroats." The telephone rang, a jarring sound that made Binghamton jump 3 inches off his chair. He snatched it up. "Hello? Yes. This is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? The sinks? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix them yourself." He slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of white pills. My stomach, it's like a car battery in there. Please, sir, take it easy on those, Carpenter pleaded. They give you terrible indigestion. Binghamton paused, a wicked light entering his eyes. Indigestion? No, Carpenter. They give me an opportunity. He leaned back, a sneer forming. If I were truly sick, dangerously ill, I couldn't possibly host the Admiral. I'd have to appoint an acting base commander to face the music. And who better to face the wrath of Iron Pants than the man? Who deserves to be court-martialed anyway? You don't mean Quentin McHale? Exactly. I'll appoint McHale. He and his brigands will run wild, destroy the base's reputation in 10 minutes, and Rafferty will have them all in the brig before sunset. It's brilliant. Carpenter. I feel fever coming on. Quick, call the medic. On the double. Binghamton threw himself onto his cot, moaning with theatrical gusto. Oh, the pain. I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. Chapter 2. The Roman Orgy of PT-73. Down at the lagoon, the crew of the PT-73 was enjoying what they called combat readiness, which mostly involved sunbathing, illegal stills, and a localized gambling ring. Commander Quentin McHale, a man whose uniform was more a suggestion than a requirement, sat with his executive officer, Ensign Charles Parker. Parker was currently trying to explain why he had accidentally ordered 500 pounds of peanut butter instead of ammunition. It's an easy mistake, Skipper, Parker said, wiping his thick glasses. The codes are very similar. Parker, if the Japanese attack with crackers, were in great shape, McHale sighed. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Carpenter, who looked like he had just seen a ghost. Commander, the captain, he's terribly ill. He's appointing you acting base commander. McHale blinked. Me? Is he delirious? Wait, don't answer that. Within the hour, McHale and a very confused Parker were standing in Binghamton's office. The captain lay in bed, looking sick in the way an actor in a bad silent movie looks sick. McHale, I'm in bad shape, Binghamton whispered. I need someone I can trust. Someone with grit. You're in charge. And Parker, you're the acting executive officer. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Parker beamed. You won't regret this, sir. As soon as they left, Binghamton sat bolt upright, a predatory grin on his face. They're going to turn this place into a Roman orgy, and Rafferty is going to see every bit of it. He wasn't wrong. Within 2 hours, McHale had authorized a shindig for the boys. The Petty Officers Club was hosting a hula dance competition, and the missing garter belts had finally been found and distributed, mostly to the nurses who were currently dancing on the tables. Skip, the boys want to rake in some dough with a little gambling action. Gruber, the crew's resident entrepreneur, suggested. McHale, distracted by a dozen ringing phones and a plumbing crisis, waved a hand. Full speed ahead, Gruber. Just keep it down. But the peace didn't last. The radar room buzzed. Admiral Rafferty's plane was touching down. Iron Pants. McHale shouted. Panic stations. Parker, get those girls out of here. Hide the booze. Hide the hula dancers. Where, Skip? The air raid shelter. Move. The transition from island party to strict naval base happened with the speed of a torpedo. Launch. By the time Rafferty's jeep pulled up, McHale was standing at rigid attention, though he was accidentally wearing a lei around his neck. Welcome to Terra Tupa, sir. McHale saluted. Acting Base Commander McHale at your service. Rafferty, a man whose face appeared to be carved out of granite, stared at the lei. What the devil is that thing around your neck? An old native custom, sir, welcoming ceremony. Parker chimed in. Hanson, stop that gibberish, Rafferty snapped. I want to see Binghamton, and then I want to see this base. Binghamton, hearing the Admiral's arrival, decided to double down. He stayed in the hospital, but he couldn't resist the urge to plant a seed of destruction. When Rafferty visited his bedside, Binghamton whispered, "Admiral, you must check the air raid shelter. It's disgraceful. McHale, he's got hula girls in. There." Rafferty's eyes narrowed. He marched to the shelter, followed by a sweating McHale and Parker. "Open it," Rafferty ordered. Parker fumbled with the keys. Inside, 30 hula dancers and several cases of illegal gin were huddled in the dark. But McHale was faster. He whispered to the girls to act like they were part of fire drill. When the door opened, the girls marched out in perfect formation, led by a nurse carrying a bucket. "Fire drill 100% successful, sir," Parker shouted. Rafferty looked at Binghamton, who had followed him in his pajamas. "Binghamton, you're delirious. Hula girls? These are nurses doing their duty. Get back to bed before I have you. Committed for combat fatigue." Binghamton screamed as he was dragged away. They were dancing. I saw them wiggling. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Masquerade. Peace returned to Teratupa for exactly 12 minutes. Then a new message arrived. The Sultan of Marami and his 3 daughters were arriving. They had been forced down by engine trouble, and the Navy wanted to make a feather in their cap by hosting them. Binghamton, recovered from his illness, but more obsessed than ever with destroying McHale, saw another chance.